Testing, testing, testing. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? You should be able to hear me now, I think. Does that sound okay? Cool. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Thursday stream here on YouTube. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. As I was saying, Bobtailed Trucker with a $20 super chat. Thank you. That is so generous of you. I really appreciate it. Says, like the video for more great Hannah content. Good point. Everyone like the video, because that's what YouTube likes. YouTube likes interaction, so like the video, chat, comment, whatever you do. I'm trying to get more viewers. I think I told you guys this. I hired an editor to do some shorts content for me, so if you've seen some shorts from me on your YouTube, that's why. We're still tweaking them. I think we're gonna tune down some of the editing, because you know, it's a little jump cutty, so I'm gonna try and tune that. But, you know, it's a thing that's going to be happening, and hopefully those can get shared around, you know? So if you're ever like, oh, you should check out this streamer Hannah, you can send it to a friend or something. Oh yeah, I like the the shorts are good. I just think there's tweaking, you know? It feels a little zoomery, you know? But if we tone it down a little, I think I'm good. Although I guess some people like that stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to get new people to watch the stream. We'll see. Anyway, let's just get into it, shall we? I have tons of random stuff to look at today, from all sorts of the things that we tend to look at when we're doing Twitch. What do we want to do first? Oh boy, remember Tommy Tallarico? I just thought this was funny. It's always interesting, because I'm not going to pretend I'm, like, hilarious, but I can be funny sometimes. There's nothing more annoying than someone who can be funny listening to someone trying to be funny when they're not. And one of the things you can tell is because people who try to appear funny but aren't, don't come up with funny things to say on the spot. They'll basically have lines that they just repeat verbatim, and that's their script. That's not being funny, that's memorizing a joke. So, let's go ahead and look at a couple compilations of Tommy Tallarico saying the same joke.
I'm sitting here with Tommy Tallarico.
Where? Where is he?
Where? Well, I don't know.
Yes, we got Tommy Tallarico.
Where? Where is he? He's not here.
Tom. The joke here is weird to me anyway because it has the implication that Tommy Tallarico is famous. Not really.
Tallarico.
Woo!
What's going on, brother? Where is he? Where?
Oh, I have his mother's very proud thing that we're going to watch after this clip.
Where's he?
At GDC 2009 with music legend Tommy Tallarico.
Music legend Tommy Tallarico. Is he though? Is he?
Where?
Here, dude.
Oh,
You're right
me.
here.
And I'm here with Tommy Tallarico, the one and only.
Where is he?
I think it's this guy right over
that's
here.
me.
Yeah.
We're here with Tommy Tallarico, who's a very
Sportshelf.com, we're here with the one, the only, the video games live king.
See, he already started the bit. He already started the bit before, like he knows he's gonna do the bit.
Sportshelf.com.
Look at, he starts looking around. He's ready to deliver
video
it.
games live king and conqueror, Tommy Tallarico.
Where?
We keep him in your pocket, sir.
Oh, that's me.
Welcome back to Super Jeremy World, and welcome to our special guest today, Tommy Tallarico from Intellivision Entertainment.
Where is he? Where is he? Oh.
Who is this guy? He owns a company called Tommy Tallarico Studios, I believe, or at least he used to, that did audio and music for games. His company worked on a ton of games, including, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, I think, Earthworm Jim. He takes credit for everything his employees have done, and he's pretty obnoxious. He makes up stuff a lot. H-Bomber Guy did a whole video about him. Just know that he's kind of a grifter, compulsive liar would probably be a good way to describe him.
Here I am.
And we're here with none other than Tommy Tallarico. I don't know where to.
I'm here with none other than Tommy Tallarico, who is.
Where?
I don't know. I can't friggin' see him anywhere. But
and I have the honor and the privilege of having the iconic.
All these people who are like, no one knows who Tommy is. The only people who know who Tommy are people who have talked to Tommy and who Tommy has talked himself up to. Like, the reason Tommy has this whole, like, people calling him, like, the famous, the amazing, that's because that's how he describes himself. No one independently came to an idea that he's, like, some kind of big star, that he's huge in the gaming industry. He seeded that reputation himself.
Legendary.
He literally lied and said he was, like, worked side by side with Miyamoto in order to design Metroid Prime, which is hilarious for a number of reasons. First of all, Shigeru Miyamoto doesn't speak English, at least not fluently. Also, he didn't work on Metroid Prime. An American studio did, because he didn't understand it, so he outsourced it to an American company. And also, Tommy Tallarico is an audio engineer and musician. He is not a game designer. He claimed that Miyamoto wanted him to make whatever sound design he and his team wanted, and then they designed the weapons around the sounds, a thing that has never happened in the history of game design. He's an interesting character. Juniper with a $10 super chat, thank you, says, holy shit, I managed to catch a hand alive. Your YouTube videos are the best background noise while I'm working on something mindless. Much love. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Tommy Tallarico, man.
Where is he?
He's right there. It's you.
Oh, that's me.
With CEO, executive producer, and host, Tommy Tallarico.
Where is he? Oh, that's me.
We're at the convention center with an old friend, Tommy Tallarico.
Where? Oh, wait, that's me.
But right now we actually have a special guest with us. We've got Tommy Tallarico. Who's
Where is he?
I don't know. If you can help us figure that out.
Oh, wait, that is me.
Guys, you're saying this is so long it's making you cringe? We're not even halfway through. We're not even halfway through this video.
Joseph Noob here, editor-in-chief of ByteBeatZoo.com with Tommy Tallarico, co-creator of
Where is
Video
he?
Games Live.
Oh,
he's
that's me.
right there.
With the certain swarthy Italian ladies man that we have literally...
What? That's weird. Also, if you're tired of this joke, don't worry, he has a second joke.
That's what he calls it, at least.
I hold the Guinness World Record for the person who's worked on the most video games in their life. My mother's very proud. The person who's worked on the most video games in their lifetime. My mother's very proud for the person who's worked on the most video games in a lifetime. So that was pretty cool. My mother's very proud for the person who's worked on the most video games in their lifetime, which is kind of crazy, kind of a cool honor. My mother's very proud. The person who's worked on the most video games in their life. Yeah, my mother is very proud.
There's...
So that's fun. That's it. Just a little smattering of the weirdness of Tommy Tallarico. Okay, moving on. Oh, this is great. This guy, I believe, is a botanist or something. I mean, this says unhinged lobster fisherman, but the channel is about botany, and if it's his channel, I'm assuming that he's a botanist. At the very least, he cares about the environment, which everyone should. It's where we all live. He's mad about these ugly developments going up in his area and the absolute clearing of wildlife that's happening for it. So, let's take a look.
See, this is what they're doing here, all right? Never mind the fact it's hot as balls, all right? All goddamn year, they're just clearing this shit. They're gonna put up some tacky fucking, Ross Dress for Less at some fucking Botox clinic, God knows what. See, they pile up all the brush, all the Palo Verde and the mesquite. Just, they really want to see that urban heat island thrive. But what we gotta do is we're gonna come down here and save this plant, Nictaginea capitata. This is a fucking beast, all right?
This guy seems based as fuck.
It's a very impressive plant.
I've never seen someone so angry and intense about plants, and I like it.
Smell very nice.
This is the energy we need.
See, the flowers are already withering in the heat, because it is still 100 fucking degrees here. I don't know how to fucking stay so goddamn hot. So hot, they'll nail you to the goddamn wall. But see, they're going to put up some bullshit, a bunch of pavement that acts as, basically like a little battery, right? Little heat battery. So it gets hot as fuck, and then, you get that heat island effect. Just keeps radiating heat even though the sun's gone down, stays hot as balls until, midnight. Kind of shit for brain if you ask me, but that's what the market calls for.
Jen with a £5 super chat says, just wanted to send this because A, you're awesome, and B, I finally managed to get a shave this week, and holy cow, the difference to the dysmorphia. Well, I'm very glad that you're feeling better and glad you were able to get that shave. I know how that feels. So that's nice. Thank you very much.
It's what's hot. So this was all, you know, thorn scrub woodland. Look at those fucking houses over there. Jesus fucking Christ, kill me. When I get to hell, that's what it's going to look like. That and a bunch of dollar stores and Walmarts. And the whole air's going to smell like farts. Fucking repulsive. I can't wait to see what stupid shit they put down here. It's always something fucking stupid. Not once would I ever build a museum or a fucking library, just shit to make people dumber. Look at it. Another Nick Tangier. They're everywhere. Dig those up, put them in your yard. All right, they take their brutal sun, never got to water them. They thrive if you just ignore
Here's
them.
a link to this video if you want to, like, subscribe to this guy or anything, because he seems great. I don't know if this is his channel or if this video just got uploaded here, but let's find out.
It's dry. You get the same type of vegetation.
Oh, no, that's him. Okay, yeah, subscribe to him if you like him. He seems great. I'm going to subscribe.
Bunch of invasive grasses in here, too. But those trees were fucking nice, and they did cool the land down. Prevent that sun from heating this land up like a fucking dog turd on a piece of asphalt. It's always something stupid. They always build the dumbest shit. Look at that. Look at those fucking houses. What's it cost to cool a house like that? It looks like some fucking tacky version of a Sopranos house. Looks like a goddamn Olive Garden. That's what I'll do. See, put it in a bag, all right? And keep it in the shade. You don't want it to get fried. You don't want it to lose humidity. That's the most important thing. Keep humidity up so it doesn't wilt. Keep the humidity up, then you go take it home, put a little growth.
Yeah, you can't send links in YouTube chat. You can post it to the Discord if you'd like, in the live stream chat, and I'll click on it.
Chamber, you want to put in the growth chamber just to get the roots big enough, all right? That keeps the humidity in there. It's just a little storage bin with some LEDs above it. Let it get new roots, then put it out in the blazing sun, and then just ignore it. Always use a sharpshooter. Just use a sharpshooter, and that's it. A lot of shit going on in Texas like this, though. Right, a lot of plant rescues that need to happen because the tumor's growing. You know, they're building all this dumb shit, just making America uglier. So,
can mods post links in chat? I'm honestly not sure. You can try. I don't know how. I don't know if it lets you.
You know, they got a lot of habitat to destroy, which means we got a lot of plants to rescue. See, there they are. They're bringing the goats in. They bring the goats in, then they're gonna go in there. They're gonna chop.
You can't. Okay.
Everything down. Build more.
I'll see if I can change that in the settings at some point. We'll check the... Thank you for the link.
What are you doing?
Watch this after we're done with this guy.
These fucking houses that look like, you know, some 9-year...
The name of the channel is Crime Pays, but Botany Doesn't.
A rich kid was smoking crack before he got a hold of his father's architecture software. Fucking goofy shit. I tell you, they cut this last year. It was a mesquite woodland, probably with a bunch of cool cacti, like Hamato cactus, in the understory, and they just came in, they cut the shit down, piled it up, and just left it. Apparently the deal went bad, they couldn't sell it, the developer, I don't know what the fuck. It's just an orgy of greed, all right, these filthy fucks. Oh, it's so sad, you know, and all that's, you know, vital habitat for the little critters, you know, the shit that live in there. And instead, they got nowhere to go, you know? You take all the habitat, you put up your fucking parking lots and all this trash development, they got nowhere to go. Holy shit. Fucking strip malls and just a fucking nightmare. Jesus Christ, look at the kinds of shit they build up there too. Look at it. Look at the fucking signs. It looks like a tacky ass strip outside of Vegas. Like something out of a nasty cartoon.
Oh, those are so bad too. If you're not from the United States, by the way, this is like what this is what so many American cities look like. It's so gross. It's just awful. It's just fucking, like, in the middle of the town, like, highways and strip malls. Oh, God. It's so bad. It's so ugly.
Need more billboards for personal injury attorneys, maybe another car dealership. We don't have enough of either, despite having about 97 within a 2-square-mile radius. Here you go, there's a nice fucking strip mall. How do you explain America to someone from another country? I guess this is what peak performance looks like? Fucking Chili's and a Chick-fil-A in a parking lot the size of 9 football fields? Fucking lowest common denominator. See, this one they didn't build yet. They just got started on the gate. White stone villa. Jesus, fuck me. Look at that. They didn't put the houses in there yet. Surely they're gonna look like shit, but they got the...
Swart Dude, thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate it.
Hey, you know, for the gated community, see that? Again, it's just about the flair. It's just about pretending to show like you got wealth. All right, whether you really have it or not, whether your whole life is spent on credit and you're fucking 50K in debt, that doesn't matter. As long as you look like you're rich, that's all that matters. White stone, but Jesus Christ, it's gonna look fucking hideous. No substance here. Again, lowest common denominator. Look at those beautiful clouds, though. That's kind of nice. More land clearance over there.
This guy's like the opposite of CC in that he's angry at things, but justifiably, and he seems cool. Like, he didn't yell at the clouds. He said the clouds were nice and pretty, you know? The development's ugly. Older man yells at developers justifiably.
And this is the kind of shit they're getting rid of, all right? See, even though it's degraded and it's invaded by buffalo grass, really bad invasive plant, it's still important habitat. You get a lot of cool snakes, chachalakas, and other shit just popping up. Look at that naturalized Sirius cactus, right? Not even from United States, but they naturalize here. A lot of important habitat for bats, all kinds of endangered critters. You know, I used to get jaguars and jaguarundis down here. I believe they've all been extirpated. Just a fucking nightmare. People down here don't know what they're missing. This mesquite's the base of the ecosystem here. They're doing this everywhere. They're doing this all over the U.S. So like nice dumping ground. Got your mesquites. More trash being dumped over there. But look at this. This green land, this is nature's air conditioner. It gets hot as balls down here for about 9 months out of the year. Having spaces like this are important. Cools the land down versus the urban heat island where you just create a giant fucking heat mat. It stays hot until 2 in the morning on warm summer days. Land never gets a chance to cool down. This is nature's air conditioner. All those leaves just transpiring moisture out of those stomates. Fucking shit for brain. Getting rid of this. Look, there you go. There's one of about 20 Dollar Generals with about 1.5 miles of each other. There we go. More townhomes and a strip mall. Can't get enough of those. Maybe some fucking billboards too. Massive parking lots. Again, just more heat batteries. Make sure it never cools off at night. You know, it's funny they're building so much housing in a place that's going to be largely uninhabitable due to climate change.
Oh my god, that's so fucking true depending on where this is. Oh my god, where are they building this? Jesus Christ.
2 or 3 decades. Shit, maybe even this decade. 115 degrees, you know, for 3 weeks in June. Then you're running out of water, too. People are going to be moving north. Just another get-rich-quick scheme. Short-term gain, long-term loss. It's the motto of today's economy.
A solution? Affordable housing that's built with this kind of thing in mind instead of doing giant suburban sprawls all across America and communities that require cars to get everywhere, even your basic needs. Like, that's been discussed. That has been discussed. Can we watch something else that was depressing? We'll watch something not depressing. Let's find something either funny or interesting. Sure, let's do something like this.
Federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties for the unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or exhibition of copywritten motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs. Criminal copyright infringement is investigated by the FBI. That's me. It may constitute a felony.
I recognize you from the beginning of my movies.
With a penalty of up to 5 years in prison or a $250,000 fine.
Honestly, like if I owed you like $1,000, that's my problem. If I owe you $250,000, that's a you problem, because you cannot squeeze blood out of a stone. Like you're just never getting that from me. It's impossible. I don't know, it's not happening. So, I don't know, you might as well said a million, quadrillion, billion dollars. It doesn't matter.
Who gets that?
Feed him to his snakes. He's just a lonely old man who wants to be left in peace. He does have...
I think it'd be the funniest thing if I was ever hit with some sort of copyright, like actual, like, huge fine like that. Considering I'm probably one of the... I gotta be in the top 1% of the 1% of people who legitimately buy like, movies and TV shows from companies. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta be one of their best customers ever, right? Like, this isn't even a quarter of my collection. This is just what's on the set. They'd probably make more money if they just let me keep buying shit.
Lonely old man, well, I'm lonely too. Lonely old man, well, I'm lonely too. A mother who's always mad at me, a father who's dead from too many cigarettes, no one to talk to, no one to play with, no one. Polly?
Ghost child? Ghost toddler.
A father who's dead from too many cigarettes.
Clean that up, boy.
Lonely old man, well, I'm lonely too. Lonely old man, well, I'm low. Huh? Lonely old man.
Lonely old man. Boy, you're crazy, you're out of your mind. When we went to dump the trash, we should have left you behind.
Alright. Cool. Let's find something else. How about some old news reporting? This is from 1962, asking people on the street if they think there's intelligent life on other planets.
Indeed think that there is life on other planets? Do you think there's life on other planets?
Oh, I don't know.
Would you like to think about it for a second?
Imagine that. Imagine being approached with a question and you go, "Oh man, I don't know." That's almost unheard of in 2023. You have to have an opinion on everything. Imagine being approached with a microphone and you're like, "What's your opinion on this?" And you just gently go, "Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about it." You know what I mean? That's so good. That's a skill everyone needs. What a beautiful thing. That's the most beautiful thing I ever learned in high school. And I'm not saying I never speak above, like, my station, because of course I do. I talk 3 hours a day most days as my job. I'm gonna say dumb shit sometimes, but I admit that, and I admit when I'm wrong. But, like, wouldn't it be so nice if in general we had more of an idea as a culture, like, "Oh man, I don't really have expertise in this thing. That's not for me to decide, I don't know." And you deferred to experts. Generally. Robert, thank you for 2 months of being a member. Appreciate it.
Oh, not really.
Tell me, do you think there is life on other planets?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I suppose there would be.
No, he seems definite. You seem
Definitely.
definite. How do you see this life and where?
Oh, I've seen a flying saucer.
You've seen one?
Yes,
Where?
definitely. At Lane Cove.
When was this?
1953.
You don't think this is a figment of your imagination?
Several other people with me saw it.
You all had the same figment. What did it look like?
It was standing up there, still,
Just suspended in space.
with colours coming out of it.
Flat or on its side?
It was around.
And you think this was sent from another planet, do you?
I really do. Well, where else would it come from?
Do you think there's life on other planets?
Oh, thanks, pensive Scarlet.
Oh, well, I wouldn't like to even discuss that.
Why not?
It's a debatable point, I suppose.
What do you think yourself?
What interesting attitudes of just being like, oh, I don't know, what? I don't want to talk to you.
You must have an opinion here.
Well, definitely not.
Not?
Not.
Well, what leads you to say that? Scientific investigation or?
Well, only working off the theory of the Bible. Well, there's only one world, isn't there? And
But do you think that can stand up to present scientific investigation?
I think it could.
Creed. Do you think so?
I think
as far
it
as
could.
the universe goes.
Definitely so.
In your opinion, do you think there is life on other planets?
No, I hope not.
Why do you hope?
Based Malthusian elder.
Because they'd be frozen to death.
Good fucking answer. That's hilarious.
Definitely so.
In your opinion, do you think there is life on other planets?
No, I hope not.
Why do you hope not?
Because they'd be frozen to death.
She's funny.
Do you think there is life on other planets?
No, I'm German. Yes.
Does that answer the question?
Why? What sort of life do you see up there?
Vegetable.
Okay, plant life, sure.
Do I think there's life on other planets? No.
Why not?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't think we'll find anything when eventually we land on Venus?
I don't think we'll find life. But
What do
we
you think
might
we'll
find
find?
very interesting things, though.
Such as?
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't really say what as. I don't know. But I dare say it'll be something worth knowing.
I think there is life on other planets.
And how do you see this life? How do you visualize it yourself? Is
It's
it
rather
like this?
queer-looking people.
Queer-looking people? Totally different from the people on Earth?
I suppose so.
Uh-huh. Would you like to get up there yourself and see it on Venus?
Not particularly.
Why not?
So I like it down here. I reckon there is.
What makes you reckon that?
Well, just, I don't know, it's not imagination, it's just what,
You're being led by scientific discoveries, etc.
yes.
Yeah, well, how do you see this life? If you think there is life up there, how do you see it? What form do you think it takes?
Animal, because we're animals, aren't we?
Well, some of it.
Yes.
Speak for yourself. I mean, how do you see them up there, though?
Oh,
I mean, the same as here? You think you can land on Venus will discover people like you?
No.
Totally different.
It all depends what atmosphere they're living in.
This lady's smart!
I think it'd be an animal form, but I don't think it'd be like us.
You think that's a good thing?
Well, I don't know.
Would you like to get up there and find out for yourself?
Definitely.
Would you?
Too right
You'd
I would.
volunteer for this?
Too right I would. I'd like to be the first woman in space.
She should be a Doctor Who companion. She just straight up had the energy of an actual Doctor Who companion. I love her. She's great.
Do you think there is life on other...
Look at this! Oh my god! This is the energy. This is it. This is the vibe. This is the vibe we strive for. Fucking slay. I don't even use the word slay. I normally think it's cringe. But in this case, she is slaying. This is what that word means.
The planets?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you thought about this at all?
No.
Do you think there is life on other planets?
Oh my god, it's Abraham Lincoln! He lived!
No, French. No speak English. French.
Vous pensez qu'il y a autre vie de les planètes?
Oh, oh good. Good for that reporter. That's convenient. That's good for someone who's like a man on the street reporter. Yeah.
Mars et Venus.
Oui.
Oui?
Oui.
C'est français, là?
Où ça là-bas, chez Mars? Je sais pas.
He seems kind of tickled that the guy knew French. That's cute.
Do you want to think for it?
There is life on other planets.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Wouldn't have a notion, would I?
Again, I love this. Everyone being like, how would I know? Why are you asking me? Go ask a fucking scientist. What are we doing? This obsession with getting random people's opinions on things that they know nothing about. What have we done? What have we done?
Hey?
I wouldn't have a notion.
You haven't thought about this at all?
Oh, I've thought about it, but No, I wouldn't think there would be.
Do you think it would be a good thing for the Earth if there was life indeed up there on Venus?
I suppose competition's pretty good at any time, isn't it?
That's excellent. Ooh. That's about ruffians in the 1960s in Sydney. That would be fun. Oh my god. You know what is so obnoxious? The kind of people who try and teach you to be a salesperson. Like there was a little bit of this in like the Andrew Tate stuff. Yeah, hold on, I'll get you a link, sorry. This is to the whole playlist. You should be able to find the video in this playlist. Anyway, where were we? Oh, the kind of people who do self-help programs that are to teach you how to sell, they're obnoxious. They're so obnoxious. Anyone who does this kind of hard sell technique bullshit is an asshole. Do not buy things from these people. It just encourages this shit. They are banking on the fact that you will be a pushover and just like be like okay to get them to go away because they're very pushy. You gotta push back on it. I know that's not fun, even if it's just hanging up a phone without saying anything or closing a door without saying anything. Don't get taken advantage of by people like this. It's so obnoxious and gross.
Hi, my name is Andy. I'm not gonna fucking shake his hand. Why? Because I'm not gonna get rejected. Hey, how you doing? Hey, damn it, man. Don't do anything that could fuck it up. You guys are cock blocking yourself. Hi, nice wave. Like fucking Midwestern from Oklahoma. Hey, my name's Andy Elliott. Our company has been allocated to this area because research shows. What shows? Fucking research. What's research? Me. I'm the fucking research. Research shows that I say, here, look at this, your utility bill's gone up. They're like, I haven't fucking seen it. Now I'm arguing about, did the bill go up? Did it not go up? Have you seen your bill go up? Not really, I don't pay it, don't pay attention to it. Fuck. Why are we in this conversation that doesn't advance the self forward? Why am I in it? Because you're a fucking amateur.
Well, he seems intense. This is his top video of all time. It's titled 30-Year Veteran Salesman Tries to Take Me Down?
This is
Oh my god.
going to be
Oh my god, everyone at this seminar. Yep, the vibes I expected.
a 34-year veteran takes on Andy Elliott.
Let's go.
Oh god. Oh god.
Jesse! 34-year veteran, my man, takes on Andy Elliott on a price objection. Are you ready?
I guess so.
My man. All right, Jesse, you sell Chevys and Dodges.
Yes.
Am I right?
I knew it. There's, I don't know. My dad always worked in car dealerships. When I was younger, I think he started as a salesman and then later became a finance manager at various different dealerships. Car dealership people, like the salespeople, are some of the slimiest, weirdest fucking people with the weirdest energy. They're almost always the kind of guys who are like, especially the older ones who like very much front with masculinity, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. They're very strange. It's a strange energy to be around. It's not fun.
Yes,
They're all like this guy, is what I'm saying.
All right, cool. This is the deal for you. I'm going to give you the ultimate test right now, okay? And you got to close me on this. All right, Jesse's looking at a new, my bad, Jesse, I'm looking at a new truck because I'm your customer.
Okay.
I'm looking at a $50,000 Chevy.
Okay.
It's got $5,000 in discounts, and I can buy it for $45,000 from you.
Correct.
This is your proposal to me.
Okay.
Okay? But I've seen a Dodge down the road at a different store that was priced at $50,000 that has an $8,000 discount. And it's 42 grand. Jesse, this is going to be the objection.
Thanks, Dark Beast.
You sell Chevys, you want to lock me up right here. Okay?
Lower the price. They're getting a better deal over there. lower the price or they're gonna go to the other dealership. What? What do you mean? You want to convince them to buy your thing for more money than they can get it elsewhere. Okay. That's certainly a task. It makes you an asshole, though. It makes you a fucking asshole. If you can't at least match the price, shut the fuck up and tell them to go to the other place.
I'm saying to you, Jesse, I want you to match the Dodge price down the road, and if you can do that, you can earn my business. Come on, Jay.
You want me to match that?
Yep. Jesse, you sell Chevys.
Yep, both. I sell both.
But we're gonna act like you don't. I want you to sell me the Chevy.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready? All right, guys, now listen to me. Follow me. This is gonna be something, I don't care what you're selling, right? Somebody's always gonna say they saw a better deal somewhere else, right? Yeah. Everybody's always gonna say your competitor's got a better price. Am I right? Yeah. Okay, when they say that your competitor's got a better price, where do you go? You know, they try to get you to play in that match me bullcrap game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the market works. What was that jerk-off motion? You're a salesperson who doesn't understand that if a different company has something for a cheaper price, then either you need to match it or accept that you've been out-competed? What?
We're not playing that. Okay?
We're not playing that. Okay, you're losing a sale. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay? And that's what I'm playing with you. Okay. So, again, we go into my man, 34 years experience, taking on Big Daddy right here. Closing, Jesse. Hey, Jesse, appreciate you, man. It looks like that's a great deal, but I found a Dodge that they're giving $8,000 off. I can buy for $42,000. If you'll match the Dodge price on your Chevy, I'll do it. If not, I'm going to go buy the Dodge down the road.
I understand that, Andy. My vehicle, you drove the Dodge, you drove the Chevy. They're both, everybody makes a great car. Let's face it, I've done some homework of my own. And as we were talking on the demo ride, I had asked you if you've been in the military, and you said you hadn't been. Okay, well, $1,000 of that discount is military discount that you won't qualify for.
Well, I was already been there, Jesse. They've got the.
Are you? I was just gonna say, are you making up things? Like, are you making up the ideas to make the other one cost more? Because this didn't happen. There was no test drive. This is hypothetical. Can you just bring in things? Then you should just say, actually, that other company has a hidden fee that's $10,000, so mine is actually cheaper. You can't just make shit up. What? Or is the lesson here that his first instinct is to lie? Like, I don't know. How could you be like this for your job and not feel like a piece of fucking shit?
For me, I can just go down there and sign papers on it right now.
I bet you can, but I promise you.
The other company funds ISIS secretly. You shouldn't buy from them. It'll fund ISIS.
When you get there, they're gonna.
I've already been there.
I understand. Well, why aren't you driving it then?
I just want to give you a shot on the Chevy.
Buy Chevy. This is not my price. This is the vehicle. You drove the vehicle. This is the vehicle you decided you like. You wanted. It has everything you want. You know what? $3,000. It costs $5,000 for me. That's not even my best price. I want $50,000. I want $5,000.
Oh, he's doing a terrible job. Because this is a dumb task. What a dumb task. He gave him a task that's, A, virtually impossible if the person you're talking to isn't scared of you or an idiot. B, if you did do this, it would make you a fucking asshole. Like, what is this test? You need to convince this person to take a worse deal. Is that your job as a salesperson? Fuck you! What a fucked up system. I get that you need to get what you need for the value you need to make a profit. I understand. But if you can't give this person the better deal, you can't, and you send them on their way. Like, I've worked in situations when I worked at a retail store. I worked in the electronics department, and people came in and bought different, like, video games and consoles and tablets for, like, their kids. So, you know, they'd come in and they'd tell me what they wanted, what they needed for their kid, and then we'd talk about the different options. And we'd talk about, hey, what do you need this for? This one's good for this one's good for this one's cheaper or more expensive, it has this battery life, it has this protective thing, whatever, you know? And if they had it better somewhere else, okay, go do that. I get the difference is probably commission, but, like, if you're willing to fuck someone over to get your commission, you're a fucking asshole, and the whole system is fucked?
More, because that's my best price. I come with $5,000 because
I don't even know what that means.
The service after the sale, I want to get you. That's the price. I'm worth $5,000.
Jesse, I might as well just go buy the Dodge. I don't even know what you're saying.
Okay, so what I was trying to do, tell him, is that my service after the sale was going to be worth more than that. But
hey, Jesse, listen, focus, shake it off. Come on, shake it off. Close
a little
me, Jesse.
nervous.
I know. Close me, Jesse.
Okay, I understand, Andy. So I'm at 50,000.
Jesse, you're at 45,000 on your truck.
That's,
match the 42, and we got a deal.
Trigger.
Where are the whistles?
Yeah,
Hey, am I right? Is this real?
Yeah, it's real. Yeah.
He's really nervous, so let's rile up everyone else in the room to make him even more nervous. That should help his performance.
Okay. So
it's real.
Is this a real objection you guys get all the time? I don't care what you sell, there's some form of this, am I right?
Yep, and then you don't make the sale because that's how the market works. At least it's how it should.
Okay, so what do you do when this happens?
If you are depending on lying in order to make your business work, you have a shitty business.
Bigger discounts the way to go?
No.
Jesse,
do you like
Jesse,
if you want the sale.
Jesse, come over here. Come over here.
Show me. That's what I'm here for.
Jesse, that's what I'm here to do.
Okay.
But I want to show you something.
We refuse to respond to market factors. Instead, we'll lie to our customers.
Hey, Jesse, let me ask you a question, right? Obviously, you're saying that the Dodge is cheaper. Am I right or right?
Yes.
Yeah, Jesse, do you like cheap stuff?
No.
Why did you start with the Dodge on the cheaper stuff? You don't even like cheap stuff.
Oh my god. Why didn't you make the other customer feel bad about being cheap and therefore exploiting their fear of being perceived as lower class? Really? This is what we're doing? Oh, you don't want your... You know, I like a quality vehicle. You don't want to be seen driving your Dodge around, do you? Jesus Christ.
Stuff, but you keep talking about
cheap stuff. A couple of my buddies said drive the Dodge before you buy it. I've always been a Chevy man, so I went.
I got it. Number one, if you wanted the Dodge, you'd already bought it, all right?
Correct.
But number two, let's talk about this.
Or maybe you want to see if the Chevy, maybe they would prefer the Chevy on balance, but they don't want to pay more. So they're seeing if you'll match. If not, they'll go back to the Dodge because they're fine because it's that much cheaper. Like, again, he's acting... This scenario implies so many weird things.
How long are you probably going to keep this truck? 2, 3 years, 4 years, something like that?
Probably
5 years? Okay. And you're going to be financing it, am I right or right?
Half of it.
Okay, cool. So when you buy it, let me show you something, Jesse. You see this timeline?
Okay.
See this? This is time. This is the money.
What the fuck is this sophistry? Did you know that, time is money? No shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be the 5 years that you said you're going to own this truck. Am I right or right?
Yes.
At the end of 5 years, what are you going to do? You're going to trade it back in.
Correct.
And then you're going to buy something else.
Might be lease.
When's the last time you talked to a salesperson and he talked about the deal he was willing to make you today, and then also what it looked like when you traded it back in? Probably never until you met me. Let me show you something.
What?
So you got your Dodge.
Yes, sir.
It's $42K. You got your Chevy. It's $45K. Now, Jesse, I get how we could get hung up on $3,000.
Is he going to say because you're buying it for more, you'll get a higher trade-in value? Because, like, no shit, but if I spent more, it doesn't really matter, does it?
But what it is, you've worked hard for this money. Whether it's 42 or 45, you've worked hard for. Would you agree?
Yes.
When you drive this Dodge today off the lot at the 42 grand, do you think the Dodge is going to become worth more money or worth
Oh my god,
money?
he's literally doing it. He's doing the stupidest fucking thing. It relies upon the customer being an idiot and not understanding that it doesn't matter if you get more in return because you spent more initially. Either way, it's a depreciating asset. It doesn't matter. Oh my god. How could he even justifiably say that one holds more value over time than the other? They're virtually the same product. They're pickup trucks in the same price range. I'm gonna imagine that they depreciate at roughly the same value.
Which one? That's right. It's going to depreciate when you drive off the lot. There's year 1. There's year 2. There's year 3. There's year 4. There's year 5. Would you agree?
Yes.
That's a depreciation cycle when you're going to trade it. Right. Now, at the end of the 5 years, if that Dodge was going to be worth $18,000, and you could see that today, that would be nice. Now, let me ask you a question. If Dodge is given $8,000 off on new Dodges, what do you think that did to the people that bought them last year? You think it made their cars worth more money or worth less money?
Make less.
That's right.
Oh my god. He's doing the thing!
And you...
If you spend more money, though, you're still spending the more money.
Want to purchase a Dodge that's going to continually discount their market big time, so on the trade cycle, on the flip side, they're worth less money? No, Jesse, you're a smart guy. So with the Chevy...
Trying to flatter the person and tell them that they're smart. Oh, this is so manipulative. It's just manipulation.
When you buy it, it's going to drop the same.
Correct.
But the difference is, Jesse...
Yes, you can lease a truck. If you're just going to be getting new trucks every however long, you might as well fucking lease it.
Because Chevy doesn't...
But, yeah, that's not something I do. I have the same used car I've had for years, and I paid it off a while ago. So.
Discount their vehicles like Dodges, they hold better on the market. So with that being said, when you're ready to trade it back in, if it's worth $25,000...
You can't guarantee any of this. This is all speculative on your part, the idea that this one is going to be this much higher than the other one. You can't guarantee that to me. However, I can guarantee that today I can spend $3,000 less by going back down the street and buying the Dodge, would be the response that you should have to someone saying some stupid shit like this.
See, I'm not the best at math, but if it's a $7,000 difference on the resale side, you had to pay $3,000 more.
Where are you getting the $7,000 difference? You made that up. It's like he wants you to assume that these numbers are solid. Where did you get that $7,000 difference in trade-in value? On what are you basing those specific numbers? You pulled them out of your ass specifically to make the thing you are doing look like the better deal when objectively in this moment we know it isn't. This is just lying. God, these people are sick in the head.
You're still winning by $4,000 on the Chevy, plus it's the truck of your choice.
Like, does he in any way has he convinced himself that this is true, or does he know he's making this shit up?
Because you're here, you'd have bought the Dodge if it wasn't. So when I hear you say that you want me to match their price, what I hear you say is that money's a real concern to you, right or right?
Right.
And if money's a real concern to you, don't you find yourself saving the most money with the Chevy?
Yes.
Thank you, Jesse. Not only will I say this today, but you better make sure I'm here doing business with you then. Is that fair?
That's great, man.
What a fucking sociopath. I just can't believe these people. Oh boy, did you hear the news about Jordan Peterson? This happened a while ago, so you probably heard about this, but I haven't covered it yet, so...
That's what we're doing with Peterson Academy.
We thought, what if we could make getting a degree 95% less expensive?
Jordan, you don't have any sort of accreditation, so your university has the same weight as, like, you know, Cobra Tate University, in that it's not a university? It's not. You're just calling it that. If you get a degree, quote unquote, from whatever bullshit thing you have, it's not worth the paper it's printed on. Other than comedic value, of course.
Because that's a pretty funny target. It's like, we're going to undercut you by 95%.
Okay, and the value of your degree is nil. At least you got a suit that finally looks nice, though. I will say this, I'll give credit where credit's due. I make fun of him when he wears god-awful ugly suits. I'll say that's a good suit. I like that suit. It actually complements his figure, because he's kind of a skinny dude. I think the vertical lines, I don't know. Especially, like, if you're going Batman villain, which has been discussed at length, this is, like, classy Batman villain, you know? Anyway. Is his daughter complicit? Yeah, she's in on all his stuff. They have a weird dynamic. Ironically, well, not ironically, I guess, his daughter dated Andrew Tate for a little while. So, take whatever you want out of that.
And and offer a better quality experience along the way.
Okay, better quality experience or a degree worthwhile? Which one?
Why wouldn't it be good to provide everybody, at least in principle, with access to the best lectures? You know, you might think, why should you?
You can find a huge amount of college lectures online for free. Just for the record, if anyone's even curious about that, like, free online college classes. Like, you can find playlists and channels where different, like, professors will literally film lessons and stuff. Like a whole semester's worth. MIT, yep, has them too. Different colleges will post them. Just in case you want to do this. Because, like, sure, you won't get a degree, but you won't get a real degree from the Jordan Peterson thing either. You know? So if you really do just want to learn stuff for your own sake and, you know, enrich yourself through learning, which is a wonderful thing to do, there are places that you can do that are much more legitimate than the hack fraudster that is Jordan Peterson.
You be generally educated, because otherwise you're going to be a useless, resentful, bitter, pointless, counterproductive lump. And that's...
Oh boy. The Batman, see, the Batman villain thing is coming so true. It's so much, we'll call him the projector. He just projects all of his own internal insecurities out on others and basically wants fascism in order to protect other people from things that he personally is insecure about.
The best lectures. You know, you might think, why should you be generally educated? Because otherwise you're going to be a useless, resentful, bitter, pointless, counterproductive lump. And that's not a good strategy. So
why did they... This is like... Who put this music over it? This is on his YouTube channel. This isn't like an edit. Like, he put this out. Why does it have scary music like it's the trailer for an A24 film? Like, what are we doing? Did Ari Aster direct this? What is happening?
So that's why you think. You think so that your stupid thoughts can die instead of you. If you get to the upper echelon...
This is like a fucking sketch! This is like an Adult Swim sketch! I haven't seen this! How did no one show me this? What is this? Okay, I'm just gonna go back to the...
Let's discuss what we're doing with Peterson Academy.
We thought, what if we could make getting a degree 95% less expensive? Because that's a pretty funny target. It's like, we're gonna undercut you by 95% and offer a better quality experience along the way. Why wouldn't it be good to provide everybody, at least in principle, with access to the best lectures? You know, you might think, why should you be generally educated? Because otherwise you're going to be a useless, resentful, bitter, pointless, counterproductive lump.
That just describes Jordan Peterson. His whole career after he got into the, like, you know, pundit space. Gashel Gladio with a $4.99 super chat says, there's a fantastic 24-episode lecture on the Old Testament from Yale. Highly recommend to just about everyone in this audience. I'll have to check that out. Thank you.
And that's not a good strategy. So that's why you think.
Yes, make sure you like the stream. Like the stream, please.
Think so that your stupid thoughts can die instead of you. If you get to the upper echelons of any hierarchy...
Like, that reaction shot is, like, comical. Like, she doesn't look into this at all. He did used to be a real professor. He has an actual PhD in, I believe, psychology. The problem is, he talks about everything other than that, basically. Look at her reaction shot here, seriously.
Instead of you. If you get to the upper...
Like, she looks so uncomfortable and ashamed. Why would they use this as the reaction shot?
Echelons of any hierarchy, you'll start encountering people who know a lot about almost everything. And so if you're stupid and you don't know anything...
No one knows a lot about almost everything. That's not how anything works.
About anything. They're just gonna look at you and listen to you for like 2 seconds and think, well, I don't know where this clunk came from, but you know, he's not come along for the ride. You need to be enculturated so that you can play with sophisticated people and you can play a sophisticated and productive game, but also so that you've informed yourself with the greatest ideas of history so that whatever problem you're tackling, you're going to have tools to tackle it with. Once we get it well developed, you'll be able to take all these courses and then, you know, you won't be a complete embarrassment to yourself.
Jesus, this is a hard sale! Oh my god! Buy my course so you won't be a complete embarrassment. Michaela Peterson's upbringing must have been just torturous. That must have been a nightmare.
I didn't enjoy my university experience. The professor wasn't interesting. I was like, I'm pretty sure what they just said wasn't true. I got a psychology professor tell me rats weren't social creatures because they lived in cages. Literally, that happened. Like,
I don't believe that that happened. I don't believe that happened, ma'am. I don't know if you're outright lying or misremembering or misheard what he said. I don't believe that happened.
Traveling 40 minutes to go to this class. And I think it's cruel that people are told they have to go to university, they have to spend $100,000 to $200,000 to get a degree so they can get a job, otherwise they're screwed. It's just a scam, but it bothers me that people are being scammed to learn to not—
Yeah, you should get scammed by my dad. That's better.
Not believe in themselves, assume that they can't fix their problems, and then hate their country, basically. It would be funny if we could blow apart the university system a little bit because it's broken, because of what it did to you. Like, you were alienated out of your job, basically.
Yeah, because he sucks. Because he sucks. He alienated himself by being a monstrous person. Sarah the Bonkle Fox says, my teacher taught us pathos, ethos, and logos by having us look at far-right conservative sites and picking apart the article's author's credentials.
Basically.
Is this meat dementia?
You'll be damn fortunate.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Jordan Peterson and his daughter are on the carnivore diet, meaning they only eat meat. Like, literally, they eat, like, steak and burgers and, I guess, chicken. I don't know if it's probably also not just red meat. Is it only red meat? They eat meat. I assume that they're constipated constantly.
If we can provide you with a list of people who've graduated, and if you had any sense, you'll employ them preferentially because we did the rigorous screening work.
He's literally just saying, yeah, we're not accredited, but like, if people generally would just agree that it means something, then it will. So pay us money with the hopes that other people will think that the certificate I give you means jack shit.
Any sense, you'll employ them, provide you with—
Like, you were alienated out of your job, basically.
You'll be damn fortunate if we can provide you with a list of people who've graduated, and if you had any sense, you'll employ them preferentially because we did the rigorous screening work. And I know how to do the rigorous screening work because I studied that for like 25 years. A degree from our university.
You studied rigorous screening work? You were a professor of psychology. What?
Signify high-level conscientiousness and general cognitive ability, and those are very valuable for any employer with a clue. So I think we can just skip the accreditation process and go right to the employers.
We are.
We can skip the accreditation process for our university. Oh my god. Davo to Abel with a $2 super chat says, Jordan Peterson, I'll make my own university with blackjack and hookers. Amy's Fantasies with £5 says, for the record, I googled and it does seem enculturated is a perfectly cromulent word.
Planning a soft launch in November, and we might be able to change the education system. That's funny. It's weird.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Exactly.
That sort of funny.
That kind of funny.
Oh yeah, that kind of funny.
Jesus Christ, this man is so Machiavellian, or at least he feels so Machiavellian. It's funny. Oh my. Education affordable to all, taught by the best. Learn how to think, not what to think. Online university launching November 2023. I'm sure we'll take a look at that when it releases. Oh. The best university's soft launch. Oh, here's another sovereign citizen person that I guess thinks that they started their own country, like the Teos guy. the Teos guy who was recently arrested. So let's check this out. I'm a little concerned, I'm gonna be honest. The emblems he's wearing feel a little fashy, but who knows? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna assume. Bitewise Marissa with $5 says, coming this fall, weird sexual vibes with my daughter, starring JP. Oh, God. I think that would be Donald Trump and his daughter's show. Oh.
My name is Andrew Stocks, and I'm the Emperor of Stemeria. Today, we're continuing our series on how to start a nation by discussing the different forms of government that your nation can work under.
Oh. Okay. He was arrested for what? He was pulled over. He was arrested for, I think, not having an ID, and also because he was carrying around, like, the passports and fake Teo stuff, so he was, like, charged with, I think, fraudulent or counterfeit legal documents? Something like that? Like counterfeit passports or something? This really isn't helping my fashy radar. I don't know if this is helping. Oh. Oh, is that a sword? Oh God, I'm really trying here, man. I'm trying. Oh,
This is how nations are built.
Oh, the patch. Oh, oh, he's got a sword. He's got a sword on his hip. He's carrying a sword. Oh, fuck. Nope. I'm okay. We're good. I can't. Nope. We don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know. We don't know for sure. You shouldn't judge people until you know for sure. Okay.
Built and empires are forged.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'm trying. Epic music over. Look I collected my own rainwater. Excuse me, sir, is rainwater collection legal in your state? Okay, I get it. Let's get to the part where you talk. There's other people. Okay. Let me look at the other people. Hold on. Okay. Alright. Uh-oh. Okay. Alright. Okay. Oh no. Oh no.
And for every nation that becomes integrated into the empire, for every territory that we acquire, for every citizen that joins us, for every drop of water we collect, for every seed that we sow, for every watt of energy we produce, for every...
Stomeria? Is this website still up? Okay, let's take a look. Stemeria is a nation based in the British Isles that's established an empire of autonomous member states, each with their own unique cultures and identities. Okay, that's good. That have been brought together by the desire to attain greater levels of self-reliance and self-determination through the promotion of sustainability, personal liberty, and social responsibility? Okay, I'm backing up a little bit, maybe. Okay. Let's, oh boy. Oh. Let's look at citizenship. Oh, you can donate, of course. Alright. Depending on the okay. Depending on the relevant qualifications, experience, and geographical locations, Stamarian citizens will be able to apply for a variety of positions within Stamaria. While the vast majority of Stamarian citizens don't have the right to reside in Stamarian territory, it's our hope that we'll eventually be able to invite a small number of Stamarian citizens to build a real-world community at some point in the future. Davo to Abel, thank you for the $2, says Google Stoma. I don't think you'll regret it. I'm familiar with what a stoma is. In the meantime, Stamarian citizens will be allocated a 1 square mile plot of land within a Stamarian province. This land will have a raised bed established on it, with each citizen being able to grow fruits, vegetables, herbs, or flowers. If a citizen resides too far away for them to manage the land themselves, the appointed governor of the province in the land is located will manage it on their behalf, with 20% of the proceeds from the sale of utilization of the produce being allocated to the governor as compensation. Okay. Bitewise Marissa says, oops, all Rhodesia cosplay. Oh, God. Stamarian citizens that go above and beyond in terms of their loyalty and commitment to Stamaria may be appointed as lords or ladies of Stamaria to form a part of the Stamarian nobility. You're just starting with nobility, huh? That's like a goal for you? That's not great. Such appointments are not limited solely to noteworthy financial contributions. Give us money. We'll make you a lord or a lady. And a Stamarian citizen can become a Stamarian noble through various means as long as it's demonstrably exceptional. It's funny that they were like, personal liberties are part of this. If you're already talking about developing a nobility class, then personal freedoms are not on the table. That's not how this works. Oh, no. Rights and responsibilities? Personal liberty in the form of natural, negative rights refers to an individual's right to not be subjected to an action or other individual or group without cause, such as the violation of someone else's natural rights. Simply put, it's the right of the individual to think, say, and do whatever they wish without interference, so long as they cause no harm to others, with freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from slavery, and the right to private property all being typical examples of such rights. Do I plan on covering the Linkara Atop the Fourth Wall movie? Probably not. Has Linkara done anything, like, really bad? Like, even if his movie's cringy, I don't know if I want to make fun of it. Like, if he's not a douchebag. Or at least if he's not a chud, let's say. I don't know. Let's see. Social responsibility, specifically the avoidance of acts that do harm to society, is important when it comes to natural rights, as the absence of the former often leads to the violation of the latter. For instance, there's no natural right that would allow a river to be polluted, as this would have an adverse impact on wider society. An individual's natural rights doesn't negate the responsibility in respecting the natural rights of others. Okay, the actual wording I don't think seems Nazi, but they're very obviously co-opting fasci imagery, which is concerning. But let's keep watching. We'll find out what's going on. What if established titles but fascism?
Every silver bar that we stamp, we are securing our future.
Along with the name of your nation and the flag of your nation, the form of government that your nation works under is something that many people will automatically judge you on. And for better or worse, this is something that you're going to have to consider, because this will be one of your defining features. For instance, if your flag features a lot of red, then people may assume that that nation is socialist or communist in nature. Or if the name of the nation is the glorious Grand People's Republic of Jimmystan, then people may assume that that nation is not to be taken too seriously.
as opposed to your nation, which is very serious.
Likewise, a form of government that your nation works under is something that will influence people's perception of you. But putting people's perceptions of you to one side, you need to think about this carefully, because the form of government...
Their Discord explicitly bans racism, fascism, and such. Oh, good. Thank God. Good job. Seriously. I was so worried. Oh, God. That's good. So he's just, like, out there, but at least he's not, like, a fascist. That's good. He clearly doesn't understand how the logos and uniform are coming off, but, like, that's good. That's good, at least.
...that you adopt needs to be practical and it needs to be workable. I have seen countless times many people coming up with government structures that are so overcomplicated that they end up paralyzing themselves. This might be because they've created 50 different government departments with 6 people.
Just a LARP? I'm trying to figure that out. If it's just like a thing they're doing for fun, like you know how people do Model UN, you know. If it's just a thing they're doing for fun and they understand that it's not, like, real, but they want to do a commune and they want to kind of do, like, fun, you know, sure. I'm a little concerned he thinks it's real, though, but I don't know. I'm hoping it is just, like, fun. I hope it's just fun. Oh, good. He's using the Micronation thing. Thank fuck. I think he's in on it. I don't think he's a subset. Because this is a thing. I don't know if you guys know this. This is actually really interesting. I'll show you a video about it, actually. I feel bad now. If you ever see this person who did that video, I apologize for assuming you were, like, a weird fascist or something. The aesthetics are a little yikesy, but, like, I get it. So, there are people who do, yeah, this is cute. I'll show you. There are people who do this for fun, basically. They make little micronations and create their own constitutions and government structure as a hobby, you know. Like, it's a thing people do for fun. You know how people have different weird obsessions? Like me with my Blu-rays? Some people do, like, fantasy live-action role play. Some people, like, you know, whatever. This is like a hobby people do. Most of them, to my understanding, because I've seen this video before, know it's not real. They know they're not real countries in any real, like, by any real definition. They're LARPing government for fun. Which is great. I think that's great. I wish more people had hobbies like this where they just have fun without, like, I don't know. It makes me sad when people make fun of people for just, like, having fun and being silly. Like, people who make fun of people doing LARP or whatever, like... These are people who are adults but are still able and willing and have joy in their lives where they can be silly and have fun and not be, like, really, you know, embarrassed about themselves. And that's a wonderful thing. Like, this isn't something I'm into personally. I find it interesting, but it's not something I would want to do. But if you're a big civics nerd or a big government nerd, and I'm saying that in a positive way, I'm not using nerd negatively here, I'm a nerd, of course this is fun for you. Like, of course you want to... What if I could make a hypothetical government? How would it run? How would we interact with other countries with different governmental and economic systems? Sure, I could see how someone could find that fun if you're really into that stuff.
We're not crazy. Okay? We're beautiful human beings.
Well, you're the president, so I have to be short
I
of
could
it.
go on my tiptoes, but then no.
West Arctica, land of the brave and free.
Where all my dreams will be, waiting for thee.
Hi, I'm Dylan, and this is Not Exactly Normal. Today I'm at a conference hosted by the United Slavovian Empire, which, if you haven't heard of, you're not alone. This nation exists solely under the feet of its citizens. This is Microcon, a convention for micronations. These are tiny nations, often ruled over and occupied by as little as a single occupant. Micronations, according to the various technocrats, monarchs, and presidents here, exist to make your dreams a reality. as long as those dreams are micro.
Good morning, everybody. It is great.
This reminds me a lot of Model UN, actually. I did Model UN. I only went to one actual event. I didn't do it for very long. But I did do Model UN for a little bit, and this reminds me so much of that. It was actually great. Oh god, which country did I have when we were doing Model UN? Oh god, I forgot. Terrible. Anyway, the students from the school who had been given North Korea as their country, which, by the way, that sounds, again, I don't mean to be macabre. I understand that in North Korea people are really suffering, but in terms of doing Model UN, it's a fun country to get, you know? You get to roleplay bad guys, more or less, in the international stage, if that makes sense. Again, not trying to make light of it, but we were in high school, and you know how that is. Anyway, this was, like, literally our Model UN thing happened right after the leader of North Korea at the time, the current leader's father, had died. So they literally did, like, a point of order and did, like, a moment of silence for the leader of North Korea. Everyone was a bit amused.
See you all here today. You know, at one time, this was just a dream. That dream has since become a reality. And because of you good people, you all helped to make it a reality. Go and be who you are meant to be. Make your dream a reality, because you can do it. That is all. Thank you.
That's the king of Amathonia, but I'll let his gracefulness introduce himself.
My name is Ernest Emmanuel von Brandenburg, Amathonia.
I don't know if I can remember that. Ernest von Braun.
Ernest Emmanuel.
Ernest Emmanuel.
Von Brandenburg.
Von Bromberg.
Amathonia.
Amathonia.
Yes.
That is quite a mouthful.
Yes, people just call me King Ernest Emmanuel for short.
Oh, just that. That's pretty tight.
Amathonia came to an existence about 8 years ago as a virtual kingdom, a virtual realm. And as time progressed on, opportunities came along to acquire land.
Look at that, he's got like a trifold. I love it. Look at this. They all have little presentation posters. This is wonderful. Anyone who makes fun of this can eat my ass. This is wonderful, and they should all have a great time, and I'm so happy for them.
Purchase or at gunpoint?
This was through a purchase.
I'm for any event where you recreationally buy a trifold and make a poster. Recreational trifold use is based.
But let's back up. What exactly is a micronation? The modern concept of micronationality stems from a single micronation, and it's the one that inspired most of the people here. A little place called the Principality of Sealand.
In 1967, a British guy took over an abandoned naval fort that was built during World War II to establish a pirate radio station.
He's talking about Roy Bates, a major in the British Army who took over an abandoned naval fort off the coast of England to establish a pirate radio station to play the music that the BBC wouldn't.
The pirates, much to the horror of the BBC and the government, filled the airwaves with rock. With the assistance of an eager...
I'm sorry, it was illegal to play rock and roll in the UK at some point? That's hilarious.
Staff of DJs come deckhands, Roy Bates occupied an abandoned seaport in the Thames estuary, spent £45,000 of his own money, and created Britain's first 24-hour...
Is that illegal in the US at any point? Under some sort of stupid obscenity law? Sounds like the kind of thing we would do too at some point.
A radio station, Radio Essex. In those heady days, the pirates ruled the airwaves and felt they were immune from attack, even by the British government.
The courts ended up ruling against his fort's occupation, and so on Christmas Eve 1966, Bates moved to another fort, which was further offshore, outside the UK's jurisdiction. But instead of launching another pirate radio station, he declared independence, and his free state, the Principality of Sealand.
And the crucial part about it was that it was in genuinely international waters. And so he had at least a technically arguable claim to possess this fort.
The BBC just wouldn't play it? Would other radio stations not play it? Because I know that, like, obviously the BBC runs, like, the main, like, channels on TV and the main radio stations, but were there not private radio stations at the time that also played rock and roll?
Well, it's a very different day to the sort of day I would live in England, well, you get up, you have a normal routine. Instead of running a home, you run a fortress.
Fearing their own Cuba, the UK government began destroying the remaining unoccupied forts. But when they
It's kind of lame.
approached Sealand, they were met with fierce opposition.
Only BBC had a radio broadcast license? In this day? Oh my god! By this point, I understand in like the 40s maybe, but this was like the 50s, 60s? That's really, really, really surprising to me.
After the Prince of Sealand fired a warning shot off the platform, the so-called invaders turned tail back to the mainland.
Like, that's unironically fucked up. I'm not comfortable with that.
Following this, Prince Michael was brought before the British courts, and the judge ruled that, quote, this was a swashbuckling incident, and ultimately he decided that the UK courts held no jurisdiction, and so Sealand was made independent.
Woo!
And from there, just a pretty remarkable series of adventures unfolded.
In the 1970s, the Prime Minister of Sealand actually got a gun and took over the Sealand platform and took the prince's son hostage, and the Prince of Sealand had to get together a few friends with real guns, storm the platform, and take him hostage. And actually, this led to a court case that sort of determined Sealand's sovereignty, because the British government said, we don't have authorization to go on that platform again.
See, his uniform's good. I think this is a good uniform that comes across as, like, regal, but not fascist. Like, this feels, I don't know. It looks like something that actually grew out of some sort of traditional military regalia, but, like, modernized, some pseudo-European nation or something. I don't know. This just doesn't read as fashy to me.
Get the person they're holding hostage back.
We were going to come back in a boat and try and scale the place in the dark. It was very difficult because, as you can see, we've fortified it and cut away anything people can climb up on, you know. So we had to come out the next morning at dawn with a helicopter, and we took the doors off the helicopter, slid down ropes about 100 feet above the sea because we couldn't land the helicopter, slid down...
The sword doesn't help. Yeah.
Ropes, no life jackets or anything, and landed on the top, and as we came down, they were running out of the building.
Oh, that's fucked up, Orc 1, 2, 3.
And we got in amongst them, and you know, before they could organize.
I mean, in the U.S., I think you can do that technically, too, if you're accused of terrorism. I don't know that for sure, but seems like a Patriot Act thing. At least if you're a non-citizen and considered a terrorist, they'll just ship you to Guantanamo Bay, where we've decided, even though it's American property, the Constitution doesn't apply there for some reason. So that's fun.
Themselves. I think they were debating whether to start shooting when they were armed, of course. Anyway, we managed to get hold of the situation before it got any further.
The leader of the Dutch and German team was himself a Sealand passport holder, Gernot Putz. Still showing battle scars, Putz was tried for treason against Sealand, fined 75,000 Deutschmarks, and only released after 7 weeks' imprisonment.
While Sealand was lucky enough to have their own unclaimed fortress in international waters, the micronations it inspired weren't so lucky. But they haven't let that stop them.
So West Arctica is a micronation that was founded in 2001 when I discovered that a part of Antarctica had been unclaimed by any existing country. So I thought, well, the Antarctic Treaty prevents another country from claiming it, but it doesn't prevent an individual from claiming it. So
Tea time tea! I don't think a sword would help defend the radio station.
I wrote up a letter, sent it to the United Nations, and said, this part of Antarctica is mine.
Yeah, did you get a response?
No, of course not. I wish.
Yeah. Have you ever visited?
I have never visited there, but I have an open invitation from the Russian government to use their station that's in my country.
My name is Ben, President Benjamin T. Pickles of the Republic of Benjistan. It's a micronation in
I fucking stan Ben in his micronation.
my bedroom. They're based in my bedroom. We have territory in Antarctica and on the northern hemisphere of Saturn.
All right. Not the lower hemisphere.
No.
I hear it's really bad there, the lower hemisphere of Saturn. It's really the worst part, don't you think?
While Benjamin T. Pickles and the Grand Duke of Westarctica are duking it out over Antarctica, there is a micronation in Sweden that has had a bit more success with its sovereignty.
Oh, this thing is interesting. I forgot about this part.
So the artist, Lars, began building a sculpture on the shores of Sweden in 1980. Lars was out swimming in the ocean, as Swedes are wont to do, and something happened and he almost drowned. He drove himself ashore. That was the spot where he came ashore. And to celebrate the fact that he didn't die, he started building a sculpture with what he had available, which was driftwood, and he just kept building and building. And for 2 years, he built this without anyone knowing. By the time they discovered it, it was 9 stories tall and about 75 tons of driftwood.
Wait, did I hear that right?
That's interesting. That takes a certain drive to decide I'm doing this, and then you just do it for 2 years.
9 stories tall? Holy shit.
The Swedish government sued him.
Oh, no fun. Boo, Sweden, no fun.
Filed criminal charges, actually, and that...
What? Come on, really? Even if you gotta tell him to stop, just be like, hey, stop. You're gonna charge him criminally for stacking some goddamn wood?
Dragged through the courts for over a decade. Sweden was unable to enforce their laws on that land, and the structures remain. So Lars declared that since Sweden could not enforce their laws on that land, it wasn't their land anymore.
Rad.
Or it was his. So he declared Ladonia independent in 1996.
While these sculptures of Ladonia tower over the barren nation, not all micronations are so physical.
And where is Slobovia located?
We like to say it's in the hearts and minds of our citizens. The only ground that we claim is the ground under our feet and the sky above our heads.
So would I be standing in Slobovia right now?
You're standing on my foot, so yes.
Yeah, just invading your personal space, yeah.
Our landmass is actually only a small rock that can be carried around in this briefcase, the official state briefcase.
And do you have Obsidia with you?
Obsidia is over there.
Can we get her?
Yeah, we can go get it.
Do you want me to go get it?
Yeah. Go retrieve it.
I love these two in their outfits.
Yeah. Whoa.
Look at that glorious nation.
That is amazing.
You can touch it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm touching Obsidia. Why this rock in particular?
It's actually, the rock was selected at random. It really doesn't have any important purpose. It just serves as our land claim. To me, the land is meaningless because we actually don't believe in borders.
And so I noticed that the rock
based
is 2 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Is there strife between the smaller island and the larger island, or they get along?
No, they get along.
Alright, so micronations come in all shapes and sizes, but how do macronation governments respond to these micro-separatists?
We do interact with the state government of Nevada.
This is the guy, this is the Molossia guy. You may recognize him from that Channel Awesome film, Kickassia.
We know the governor and so forth, and the state and the senators and all that.
Do they recognize your sovereignty?
I think they're really not sure what to do with us. But we hang around anyway, and they're like, oh, those guys. All right.
Those guys.
I mean, our nation has everything that a larger nation physically has. It's not just sort of an idea. So we have our own post office as well as stamps. We have our own bank as well as money. We have our own phone system and so forth like that. So it's kind of a functioning country, but in a very small package, if you will.
Do you have a transit system?
Well, we would.
Wait a minute, you're telling me this guy is also into model trains? I don't know, seems sus.
It was big enough to warrant it. 1.3 acres and...
It's almost like people with hyperfixations get them on multiple things and have all sorts of really interesting hobbies. I love it.
By the time you get onto something and off something, I could already walk there.
Well, at least one micronation, West 2, has some pretty powerful fans. Many of these micronations are quite established, and they have many of the things that macronations have. They have constitutions, flags, medals, corruption, politicians hanging on to power, and of course, national anthems.
Why does that microphone look like a Hitachi magic wand? Am I the only one? Like, it looks exactly like it. It's like not even... It looks more like a Hitachi magic wand than it looks like a microphone, to be completely honest.
Catchy. The micronation community is an interesting mix of adults taking it really seriously, kids having fun, and like with many internet-based communities, trolls.
The annoying conflicts between micronations fall into three really specific categories: personal conflicts, fantasy conflicts, and conflicts born out of desperation for attention. Molossia receives declarations of war at a rate of 1 per month for the last 10 years.
I tend to describe micronational war as a toddler slap fight. Amusing to watch, but I'm not going to get involved.
Troll wars may be part of micronational conflict, but it's not the whole picture.
We are currently and perpetually at war with East Germany. Back in 1973, Fidel Castro gave a little island off the coast of Cuba to the nation of East Germany. That was not addressed in the Unification Treaty in 1990 between East and West Germany. Back in 1983, I was stationed with the United States Army in then West Germany, and as armies tended to do, they roused us in the middle of the night. One too many times, I was aggravated by being woken up in the middle of the night, so declared war on the nearest East Bloc country, which was East Germany. Forgot all about it until I discovered the war declaration in the Ministry of the Closet in the bedroom.
And how many people have died in this conflict?
Absolutely
Hundreds?
zero.
Oh, zero. Oh, I was thinking hundreds.
Yes, she is a certified captain of sailing vessels, or is it all vessels?
It's all maritime vessels.
Okay.
Well, up to 50 tons.
So of all the nations here, you have the actual strongest military then. Do you have any rivalries with any other micronations?
So there's another micronation called the Grand Duchy of Flandrensis, and they had actually claimed our territory. And so we had a war with them, the Civil War, but actually we came through it, negotiated to recognize each other's claims, and now we have a great alliance. We're very close friends.
How many were killed?
Nobody killed, nobody injured, but injured pride all around.
All right, that's fair.
Because somebody violated our sovereignty, so we declared war on them.
And how did they do that?
They sent troops really close to the capital. Like they were 2 blocks away from the capital.
2 blocks away. Is the capital your house?
Which is also the palace.
Yes, this channel is now a micronation. Congrats, denizens.
So we went to war with them.
Is that your house?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Going into the conference, I was expecting a sweaty room full of gun-toting libertarians with huge freedom boners. But it turns out that tax-hating militias aren't terribly interested in presentations on how to make your own medals.
Tips and tricks. What do you make your medal of? Well, usually it's actually ribbon, satin, or gross grain. I'll tell you right now, use gross grain. It's just easier than satin. Satin is a pain to try to glue. The glue soaks right through and it looks ugly. It'd be really cool if somebody made a little medal that was little tiny chainmail links. That would be pretty awesome.
This is so, it's just so, yep, this is fandom. This is how fandoms are. I love it so much.
While there are a lot of cool ideas for better governance floating around here, the big reason that many of these rulers chose to rule was for the costumes. They wanted to call themselves kings and queens, dictators, bishops, dukes, and so on.
So, King George, Dylan, nice to meet
Dylan.
you. So you're the Grand Duke of West
Antarctica, correct.
I am President Kevin Baugh of the Republic of Molossia.
And my official title is Grand Marshal Yagjin of the Ambulatory Free States of Obsidia.
I'm
Ambulatory Free States of Obsidia. Wonderful.
Carolyn, Queen of Ladonia.
Ladonia.
I'm Christopher I.
Christopher the First.
Yes, of the Grand Republic of Psychovia.
Psychovia. Ah, all hail the king.
Yeah, it's a little big, but...
No, it fits. You'll grow into it. So tell me about your little tiara you got on.
This is a laurel. This is both the official crown of Psychovia. This is also the crown of the Order of Christopher I and the crown of the Order of Now.
If I touch the crown, do I then become the ruler?
No.
It's not like that? It's not a...
No.
It's not no take
No,
backs?
you can touch the crown.
Can I try it on?
Yeah.
And the Congress are my stuffed animals.
Okay.
Because they are always there.
Do you have any other rooms within your house that you want to move into that you can't? Have you laid claim?
We've tried.
Yeah.
But we were sanctioned by the international community, also known as my parents.
Ah, the typical international sanctions.
Yeah.
It's just difficult. You're worried about being voted out of office?
That'll never happen. It's actually in the Constitution that the monarchy cannot be the form of any kind of revision. So they're stuck with me for a while.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Nick. I'm glad that the streams are helping, and I wish you the luck in any and all treatment options that you go through with.
I became king because I happened to own a Dracula cape.
Awesome.
Of course, it doesn't hurt that many of these micronations offer knighthoods and lordships for a small fee of several $100s.
We have hundreds of nobles, because noble titles are available for purchase.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
But we do have many ministers. Ministries are not a purchase thing. That's something you apply for.
Beyond the dress-up, however, there is a lot of good being done by micronations around the world.
We try our best to reach out to people in other lands who are less fortunate, truly less fortunate.
We promote women on waves. What they do is go to countries where abortion's illegal, and they take women on boats 12 miles out into international waters where they can have a legal, safe, effective medical abortion with pills.
Fuck yeah!
We try to find causes
based
that support freedom of expression, freedom of art, and just freedom in general.
You know, as one of the few unclaimed places on Earth, there's no existing nation that can advocate for the penguins and the seals and the whales and the melting ice shelves that exist down there.
Yeah.
So that's my job.
I think I can do it better than the country I live in, than the country in other countries, and that's what Banjistan is. It's a way to do better.
All right, I'm convinced. Sign me up.
So how would I become a citizen?
Well, you really can't be a citizen of Molossia. It's a family nation. So
Do I have to marry in the family?
Yes, you would.
And you're spoken for.
Yeah, thanks for that, but yes, I am. But the chief constable, she's over there. She's available. You can talk to her. Well, not quite yet. She's only 15.
Yeah.
Oh, don't joke about your minor daughter in that. No.
How does one become a
That's a little too Trump for me.
citizen?
We have an online form that you can fill out.
And then I'd be able to move down to Nevada and live with you?
Is this Micronation channel on good terms with the Twitch Micronation channel? No. YouTube Hannah is at war with Twitch Hannah. Twitch Hannah is a huge bitch, and I hate her, and I'm going to steal her land.
It's fully developed, you can if you like.
How do people join, become a citizen? 'Cause
Because
I did touch the rock, you saw, right?
Citizenship. Obsidia is a feminist country, and we have an egalitarian structure in our government, so nobody holds a higher authority than anyone else.
Feels like it'd be really hard to get things done if people aren't in charge of specific things, but okay.
That's awesome.
And,
That's awesome.
And only women can serve in government.
So egalitarian, but only women.
All right, well, if I can't join the cool one, I'm just going to make my own. All hail the king, which I guess is me, King Dylan of Normalia. Bow, you shits.
One of the core tenets of my micronation is that the data and privacy of my citizens must be kept secure.
Robert Procagam, you can indeed be an ambassador. I wish you luck on your negotiations.
Which is why I've written it into the Constitution.
But Twitch Hannah knows what she's done. I will give no quarter.
That all my citizens must use Dashlight. Who sponsored this episode?
No, but that's cool though. So that's good. I'm glad that this guy isn't like bad. That is such a relief. Seriously. Oh, okay. Moving on.
Lara, I cannot let you go without bringing up something I saw on your social media this week, and that was a release of a single that you have apparently recorded. Is this fake news or is this real?
You are so nice. Let me just start by saying that I am not a professional singer. I'm not seeking this as a career. I have always
Yeah, that was Wendigoon. I forget what I pulled up him talking about.
loved music. I've played the piano my whole life, and I got an opportunity to record a cover of an incredible song, Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down. And I said, who would turn this down if you get an opportunity like this? So I'm sure I'll get a lot of critique from all the haters out there of my voice and my singing ability. I'm great on a karaoke stage after people have had a couple of drinks, but I'm very...
I like that idea, Baha, and it'll just say, for traveling. For traveling, not driving.
Proud of what I've done, and I think it's a great track, and it's a new spin on a song that so many people know. So really excited that it comes out officially today here in America.
Well, you have to sing us a line here on Aaron. Come on.
I'll do my best without any music or anything. Okay. Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. And there's more to come.
That was amazing. Clap, clap, clap. Well done. Thank you so much for that without any notice at all. And it sounds very much like a campaign jingle. We'll watch that space.
What the fuck?
All right, Trump, thank you so much for your time, as always.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Great to see you.
Honey.
Yeah, that's what we need. More Trumps in politics. People aren't already sick of him or anything. That's great.
It spans the globe like a superhighway. It is called Internet. The net to longtime users.
Internet is a whole group of networks.
The net is made up of some 12,000 individual computer networks. Internet began back in 1969. It was a tool of the Pentagon. But nowadays, just about anyone with a computer and a modem can join in.
Hope your meeting goes well, Demos, and thank you.
Usually for a nominal fee.
When Carol Phillips wants to know what's going on in her community, she takes a walk to the computer in her family room.
Critics say one danger is this could turn out to be an elitist system, one available only to people with a computer and a modem.
Phillips connects to Cupertino, California's city-run network.
Who has a computer in their home?
CityNet.
An effort to harness the information explosion, to allow the high-tech flow of facts and figures between government, business, schools, and citizens. Computers, databases, and consumer electronics, designed to put vast amounts of information at users' fingertips.
One of its greatest achievements appears to be as an aid in scientific research. By tapping into Internet, a scientist can share knowledge with another scientist at lightning speed.
And thus widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots.
Internet keeps growing, adding users and services.
Promoting the information superhighway, Vice President Gore on Wednesday said he could foresee the day when a youngster just home from school, given a choice between Nintendo and the Encyclopedia Britannica would choose to access the encyclopedia. If that is so, that might be even a greater accomplishment than the technology.
What? People put the Nintendos on the internet. Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, here's another weird sales guy.
So, I'm checking out. I'm done. I'm finished for the day. Maybe you're finished on your day.
So Nick,
okay?
Nick,
I'm ready. I'm walking past my sales department. I'm going to go in there and jack those guys up.
You're watching this every single day.
Listen. So, I'm going to go in there and jack those guys up. I hope you had a freaking great day today. I hope you destroyed it.
Look, man,
put him up.
you're...
I want to hear.
Look, dude, you're...
Like, does he think he's Alec Baldwin's character from Glengarry Glen Ross? Like, it really feels like this is hardcore coffee is for closers energy, and it disgusts me.
Your people love it. You already told me you...
Didn't Mike Lindell figure out how to detect the internet? He did. That genius, Mike Pillow. Cutting edge in the cybers.
Watch the videos every day.
I hope you're taking care
you
of
read
your
all the
family
books,
to the point that they think
right? You're only
superstar.
closing. You're getting 100 leads a week, and you're only getting 8, 9 sales. You're going backwards.
Just asking
you already know. You already know. I gave you the
you should be
agreement. I already
asking for
gave
the
you the
close
best
right now.
price. Now we're negotiating. Dude, if Grant Cardone heard you, he'd be freaking. I mean, you're asking me for $100 off, and we can do this. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we don't have any more money to give you. Your people need this. I know you don't need this. Your people need it. Your people are missing deals. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Yeah.
That's how close we are.
That's how we're off.
Nick, hey Nick. You talking about $100? You need to be worried about $1 million.
Oh my god, this guy's the biggest fucking douche.
Dude, look, we don't have any more money to give you. Okay, you're gonna spend 30 grand over the next 3 years. $100 doesn't change it one way or the other. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question now. All right, there's one answer. Yay or nay?
Bitewise with the $2 super chat says, mixed up my manuals and negged my client. Please help.
Yes or no? You know who this is? It don't matter who it is. Yes or no? That is.
Oh my god, what an asshole.
First question. Yes or no? Hey, Nick, if $100 is the decision maker, don't do it. Because if you're interested in $100, man, you need to go find a street corner to beg on.
That is true.
Yay or nay, Nick? Yay or nay?
Hey, how are you?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
So let's do it.
My man. Hey, this is Grant Cardone, Nick. Thank you for doing business with Grant Cardone Enterprises. We're going to take care of you. I'm going to make you $1 million with Cardone University, all right?
Oh, he's selling a bullshit university program where he teaches people to also be scumbags. It's like an Ouroboros of douche.
I was hoping you'd send me a little bit of information.
And tell Todd he was too weak to shut you down, all right?
This is fucking pathetic.
Thank you for your business. Get his credit card right now.
All right, hey.
Oh my god, disgusting.
I'm getting ready.
What an absolute fucking ass. Ugh. These fucking people, people like Gary V. Nasty. Have I seen the Peter Hitchens and Cosmic Skeptic thing? I have not. What happened? Let's see. Anyone who's grown up in Scientology vids just went, oh god, not Grant. Was it a specific video or something? What did he do? Is it this? It's from a day ago.
What you're about to...
Is Peter Hitchens related to the late, you know, Christopher?
Here is the most bizarre experience that I've ever had in the production of this podcast. 2 months ago, I emailed Peter Hitchens saying, quote, I'm writing to invite you to appear as a guest on the podcast to discuss your work and areas of interest, in particular, issues pertaining to drug decriminalization, whether we are experiencing a moral decline in
He's his brother? Is he like a fascist or something?
Society and the influence.
Honestly, how bad would Christopher Hitchens have gotten if he was still alive today? Genuinely, how big of a piece of shit would that do? Like, I get it. Christopher Hitchens, you know, I liked him when I was an edgy atheist in my teens. Oh god, he's a Christian right-wing Christopher Hitchens, basically? That's terrible. That's even worse.
Of secularism on this question, and the state of monarchy in the United Kingdom. Before the interview commenced, I reiterated that there are 3 subjects of interest, things that he's spoken about or written books about.
I'm actually gonna, real quick, I'm gonna fill my water and use the bathroom before we start this, because I assume it'll be what it is. So let me put something on for you real quick while I... Nope, not that music. See you, music lover. Hope class goes well. Ew. Okay, watch this. Be right back.
All right, we're batting 500 with these baking steaks inside of other things. But I got a feeling this one's gonna be a winner. Of course, the first decision you have to make is which way you gonna cut it? Like a hot dog or like a hamburger? I'm feeling pretty good about the hot dog style of cooking a steak inside of a pineapple. I may have bitten off a little bit more than I can chew. Now that's a pineapple hole you can be proud of. Some salt and fancy black pepper. Shove our probe right into the steak. Make sure that we get the correct temperature. And then we're gonna nail it shut with these wooden skewers. They never tell you how important wire cutters are to making a good steak. Alright, current steak temperature is 50 degrees. We're gonna pull it out at 132. I can tell this one's gonna be good. Alright, after 30 minutes, we're only at 62 degrees. So I bumped it to another 30 minutes and we'll check it again after that. That ended up taking 2 hours. Oh, we forgot one. Looks pretty good in there. Then we'll hit it with a little sear. Let's see how we did. Medium rare. Here we go! It's bad! The steak's like turning into goo. It's got this weird texture to it, and it's absolutely flavorless. It was soaked into the pineapple. It's literally one of the worst tasting steaks that I think I've ever made. 0 out of 5.
Bop, bop, bop. Ew. Alright, back to that interview.
In the past, and that I've also covered on my YouTube channel, and these are drug decriminalization, God and religion, and the monarchy. To which he said, the monarchy's a bit boring. And I said, you know what, I actually agree with you, let's not do the monarchy. He didn't take the opportunity to make a similar comment on either of the other 2 subjects that I mentioned. Then we sat down, and the camera started rolling, and I asked him if he had a hard out. That is there a time that he needs to be done by? He said, what did you have in mind? To which I respond, ideally, these things run for about an hour, but if the conversation is particularly lively, they can be an hour and a half. I've done podcasts that are 3 hours long. To which he said, well, we'll see how we do, but 3 hours might be a bit long. So as far as I was aware, we were about to have an hour or an hour and a half long conversation about 2 topics, drug decriminalization and God and religion. I had also on my list the issue of the death penalty, but that was only if we had time. That wasn't something that I'd actually mentioned to him. And then something went disastrously wrong. I'm really in two minds about posting this, because I don't like the idea of posting something that one of my guests isn't happy about. Generally speaking, if a guest tells me that they want to take something out or they're not happy with something for any reason, then I respect that. The problem is that
The interview itself is fine, but after the setup, the good stuff starts at 42 minutes. Okay.
Mr. Hitchens didn't just tell me that he wasn't happy with the interview, but that he wasn't happy with me personally, and he did that for 15 minutes. He then went on Twitter and made it quite public that he was recovering from an attempted interview with me in which I bored him for almost an hour with unoriginal questions about drugs. Since then, he's been tweeting about me quite a lot, and I think I've earned something of a right of reply. I figured the best thing that I can do is simply present the full, uncut interview so that you can make your own mind up about what went wrong here. I may in a future YouTube video give you my own views about what I think happened and why I think it went wrong, but for now, I simply give you Peter Hitchens. Peter Hitchens, thanks for being here.
So far, so good.
Suella Braverman last year, after the Conservative Party conference, was reported to have been considering upgrading cannabis to being a Class A drug, and this was amid concerns that it had become a gateway to other harsher
I'm sorry, this is a conversation that's happening in the UK today, not like 40 years ago? What the fuck?
Do you think that cannabis is a gateway drug?
No, I think it's quite bad enough itself. It doesn't need to be a gateway to be bad. The potential effects of it on users appear to be, by correlation, to be so serious that it's silly to think of it as a gateway drug to others. It's quite bad as it is. The whole system of classification was designed, as far as I know, back in the early 1970s, to actually make it seem less threatening than the then bogeyman drugs of heroin and LSD, which is why...
I'm sorry, did you just imply that you think that marijuana and heroin are on the same level of danger? Even if you don't like drugs in general, that's just an outright dishonest statement. Like, you cannot say that. You can absolutely say, like, you still don't think that drug use in terms of marijuana is okay for some other reasons. Whatever. As long as you can justify them, it's your opinion. Whatever. But to try and act as though, objectively, there is not further danger in something like heroin is just dishonest. It's just so out of the realm of reality, I don't even know how to process it. Like, this is literally stuff that, like, I collect old propaganda scare films. Like, these are literally arguments from, like, movies that are from the 50s. Let me even see. Oh, this one's from 1936. Marijuana, weed with roots in hell. Like, it's reefer madness type stuff.
Different classification from them.
So do you think that would have been a wise idea, upgrading the class?
No, none of these things have any real relevance at all. The current classification, I think, means the maximum sentence for possession is, I think, 5 years in prison and an unlimited fine. That's quite a severe sentence. And the point about the law at the moment is that it's not enforced. Not the law is not stringent enough on paper, but that nobody enforces it. So upgrading it or making noises about it being a gateway drug won't change that until the police enforce the law, which is what they're paid to do.
Maybe they shouldn't, because, like, isn't there enough problems without doing that? Like, seriously? I get it. I understand law's law, but, like, if you're gonna prioritize something, maybe deprioritize the thing that doesn't really matter.
Then nothing will happen.
Yes, I sometimes hear...
I am gonna skip to the part where he freaks out. I just wanted to hear a little bit of the actual thing to see what the tone of the discussion was.
You mischaracterized as a person who wants harsher penalties for drugs.
People will say things like this. It's actually the harshness of the penalty isn't really the point. The point is that there is a penalty, that it's a realistic penalty, and that it is imposed when people break the law. In general, I'm of the view that with enforcing law, that with first offences you're pretty lenient. You don't want to ruin someone's life for one offence, but you cannot legislate, not serious. I believe that's so. I understand that point, and it's a good point against marijuana that we would have to have much more testing of formerly free individuals because the danger would be great. But no, you can't see that. Instead of taking the point and listening to what I say, you can only come up with, but what about alcohol? It's banal. It's time wasting. And frankly, I can't be bothered with it. If all you've got to say whenever I say introducing a third legal poison into our society would be terrible.
All right, I'm going to get to the part where you freeze out.
Something like a re-education campaign.
I think
on the
I've
nature
had
of
this
drugs.
actually. I think if this is going to be about drug decriminalisation, I'm bored. If you want drug decriminalisation, good luck, and enjoy the society you get as a result. But frankly, I'm sick of the subject, and I'm also sick to death of the people who promote it.
So be it.
Jesus.
Will you be all right?
You're entitled to use that, by the way. Feel free to do so if you want to. But I think you've had me here on false pretenses.
What?
And if you run this interview, I shall say you had me here on false.
I'm sorry. Which false pretenses?
Well, that this is going to be an interview about several subjects. It's been on nothing but drugs.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing. You're obsessed with drugs.
This is the first topic of many.
You're obsessed with drugs.
This I had planned to.
I've written about you. You've not read what I've written about you.
I have.
You have. You
Yeah.
obviously haven't read my book.
I have read your book.
Well, you're obviously reading it with the lights off. You're not aware of anything that I've said.
I have a number
You haven't read what I've written about Portugal, which is easily...
Does he fundamentally misunderstand the purpose of an interview? Like, if you are going to interview someone and you've read their book, it doesn't matter if you might know the answer. The point is that the interview is for an audience who might not know. So if you know that the interviewee might hold some opinion and you want them to elaborate on it, you will ask them a question to elicit a response that describes their feelings on the subject, even if you more or less know what their feelings are. Like, it's not to inform the interviewer necessarily, though that can also be a thing. A lot of it is to elicit responses so that the audience gets a sense of your understanding and beliefs and what you're saying. That's the point. Peter Hitchens wrote a whole book about how bad drugs are. Hot take. Does he drink? I'm curious. I'm really curious how he feels about alcohol. I'm wondering if he's at least consistent.
I've read that too.
Well, again, you've shown no signs of having done so.
I had it.
You haven't put to me any of the things that I said in what I've written about. It's now, I've been here for an hour, and we've discussed nothing but drugs.
I had planned to move on to other subjects. I'm sorry.
I don't think you're entitled to run this.
He thinks we should get rid of alcohol too. Okay. At least he's a consistent moron.
If you do run it...
That's an interesting opinion to have in the UK, I bet, wanting to get rid of alcohol. I imagine that's not a very popular sentiment.
I shall say I don't think that you got me here on false pretenses.
I was just interested in your views.
I frankly think it's extremely bad manners. Extremely bad manners and very bad practice.
We spoke beforehand. I said I wanted to talk about drugs and God.
You didn't say I want to spend an hour discussing drugs, including half an hour discussing Portugal.
I'm sorry if that was too long. I really
That's
had.
too long. This interview was supposed to be an hour. We've practically finished that hour. We have not moved from the subject of drugs.
I really had planned to move on. The thing that I'm disputing is that there were any false pretenses here. I asked if we...
Okay, so where does it say in your communications with me, I want to interview you for an hour about drugs?
Just before the interview, I said, I want to talk about drugs, I want to talk about God, I want to talk about the monarchy.
No, I came here.
You said that's fine, but the monarchy's boring.
Across London. You didn't say we're going to have an hour's discussion about drugs, including...
Yes, this is real.
...half the thing on Portugal. Because if you had done so, then A, I would have said no, and B, I would have been better briefed for these specific questions. I thought it was a general interview on a number of subjects.
It's really...
I think you have acted on false pretenses.
What?
I think you have been dishonest with me, and I think you behaved extremely badly.
I had planned to talk to you.
Why is he acting like he's castigating Cosmic Skeptic? Jesus Christ, this is embarrassing.
About drugs and God.
Yeah, the pretentiousness must run in the Hitchens family or something.
I think you behaved disgracefully. What's in this for me? Why should I bother to come here? I've bicycled across London in the heat to spend time being interviewed by you. And you've abused my goodwill, and you've abused my
your goodwill.
We talk about
I don't want to see you again.
I thought we'd talk about drugs and talk about God.
I'm sorry, you've talked about nothing but drugs.
It was the first
subject. You've talked about nothing but drugs. We've been here for almost...
If you're known for having really hardline opinions on drugs, you're gonna get asked about it. If you wrote a book about it, you're gonna get asked about it. What a petulant child.
Hour which we said we were going to have. You've talked about nothing but drugs.
It was the first subject that came up, and we were just going back and forth.
It came up.
I had following... Yep.
It reminds me of... I don't even think I can play it, because there's a sketch from I Think You Should Leave, where someone's being interviewed, and it's Santa Claus who's playing someone in a movie, and he's upset that they bring up him being Santa in the interview about the movie he made. He's like, I told you, I'm not talking about the Christmas thing. Like, if you're known for a thing, you can't be surprised when it comes up in an interview.
Yeah,
like, imagine if Christopher Hitchens had been in an interview and he was like, why are all these questions about atheism or God? Because that's the primary thing you're known for talking about. What?
I had follow-up questions to ask you.
It didn't come drifting out of the sea. You chose it.
I had follow-up questions to ask you. I'm sorry if that went on for too long.
It was your chosen subject for an hour.
I don't believe this was under false pretenses. I really
nothing else. Not a syllable about anything else.
I can't accept that this was under false pretenses.
And also round in circles too. You don't listen to analysis.
Look, I'm
seldom come across such an incompetent interviewer. You don't listen to analysis, so you have to ask everything over and over again. Rude, incompetent.
He's literally waiting for Cosmic Skeptic to start talking so he can speak over him.
Dishonest.
He both wrote a book on the subject and went on the whole episode how no one cares about his opinion on subjects and why bother, blah blah blah.
Well,
He's literally waiting for him to talk so he can talk over him.
There's nothing more I can say here. Run it if I like.
Right, sure, right if you like. I can't stop you.
I think people would be interested to see your views.
Morally, I don't think you're entitled to run a word.
I think people would be interested to hear your views.
You're not entitled to run a word of it. You just aren't. You brought me here on false pretenses. You treated me with extreme bad manners, and you've done nothing but ask me about drugs. You didn't tell me you wanted an interview about drugs. You just did this. This isn't because you've got the better of me.
I
agree. You know almost nothing about
I'm not owned.
Really, I don't think
almost
that's the case at all.
Nothing about the subject of drugs, and you understand less. But I do think that you brought me here on false pretenses, and have been extremely ill-mannered.
Look, I would be happy.
I don't want this to be shown. You can't stop me, but I don't want it to be shown.
I would be interested to see if people share your opinion that that's how I behave.
People know my opinions.
No, if people share your opinion that that's how I behave today. I think if I run this interview, people will not get that.
It is my opinion, and it's the opinion on which I'm basing my decision to get up.
Like, this is a full-blown tantrum. Like, this is I know it's self-evident, but like I can't believe I'm watching someone who's got to be in his 50s or 60s having a toddler tantrum.
I think if this goes out,
like, he cannot handle whatever feelings he's having right now. This is interesting.
People will not think that that's how I've treated you.
Well, because you have the power to edit it.
No, I don't edit these things. I don't edit anything out. Nothing goes out. Every single word gets included. Everything.
I don't care. I still think it's
I still think
it's an ill-mannered, dishonest, false pretenses.
So I can post this interview word for word.
You're here on false pretenses, and I think you should be ashamed of it.
So I can post this interview word for word, and you think people will...
I've been lured here on false pretenses. I think you should be ashamed of yourself, ashamed enough not to run it.
I'm sorry,
Who's the tantrumy? Peter Hitchens, Christopher Hitchens' right-wing Christian brother.
I just don't agree. I just don't agree that there were any false pretenses.
I know you don't. Does that make it better that you're not even aware of what you've done?
I'm bemused by this, honestly. I
don't doubt it.
So many episodes, we
doubt it.
We talk, we go back and forth. If there are follow-up questions, there are follow-up questions.
Don't doubt that you're bemused.
How long would have been too long to talk about drugs? Like, if we'd have moved on half an hour earlier to talk about.
Personally, 1 minute was too long to talk about drugs.
Gashel Gladio says this is the best Christian conservatives can do. Yeah.
So why did
if you raised it, so I had
before this interview, I asked.
Went on and on and on and round and round and round, and you didn't have any idea what I think. You hadn't read what I'd written, or if you had, you hadn't taken it in or understood it.
Before this interview, I asked you if we could talk about drugs. You said yes. You didn't.
Of course, I could talk about drugs. I didn't agree to an entire interview about drugs.
What do you think an interview is? Jim looks to camera. Exactly. I feel that. I feel that look to camera. Oh my god. Why is he still here? Because he's trying to get the last word. He needs to feel like he can salvage this.
I think it's a very good example of my powerful self-restraint that I haven't actually sworn at you.
Fuck off!
Anyway, if you've got any sense or manners, don't run that.
Oh my god, he realizes how bad he's coming off. He knows. He's realizing, he's like, okay, oh god, I fucked up. Oh boy.
Ms. Hitchens, I want to run this just...
You're not entitled to run it.
You said he was earlier! What are you talking about? He completely has realized what an ass he looks like.
No moral entitlement to run it. You brought me here on false pretenses and you behave very badly.
Just
and if you do, I should say so.
Just in order that I can... That if that's the case, that if I have mistreated you, that I can hear that from someone other than just yourself, because I just...
No, it's my opinion that matters on that.
I don't know what
You persisted with asking me to come. I never made any trouble about coming. I changed my day to come today. I agreed to come. I came on time. I was here when requested, and then I was abused.
Abused? I was asked questions in an interview. I'm being abused.
My good nature was abused, and I don't like that.
I suppose there's nothing.
I advise you not to.
I suppose there's nothing more I can say, but I must say that this like I have to run this. I have to.
Why?
I have to run this because it like people know that I've spoken to you. They'll want the interview, and they'll.
Okay, well I'll start tweeting now.
I'll start tweeting now. Oh my god! How is he continually being more embarrassing about this? It's the asymptote of embarrassment. It's just perpetually gaining cringe. How much do you want to bet he wouldn't extend that it only matters that I feel I was abused to anyone else? Oh no, people like this never do. It's all about them and their feelings, but no one else's feelings matter.
No, I don't. You don't
carry on tweeting it, and I'll go to some outlet.
I'm tweeting at you right now. Pathetic.
Ill manners and bad faith that you're running it at all, if you choose to do so. I was tricked by this way once by some.
Tricked by somebody else?
Yeah, I've had someone else try to trick me into about drugs by pretending they were interested in general matters.
Listen, I really genuinely
very unkindly to that. They at least didn't have the nerve to run it.
Indeed, I would happily talk to you now about any other subject and not run the drugs part. Just the rest of it. Just to prove to you that I'm really not here to trick you into a conversation about drugs.
There's so much content about everything else. It's just...
I can talk to you about...
It's always go like this. If you get on a topic and you get rolling.
Genuinely, I was just interested in following it up. I really didn't mean to make this some sudden... suddenly we're just going to talk about drugs the whole day.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I am so frigging bored about arguing about drugs with morons who want to legalize them.
Well, I'm sorry if it's boring, but that doesn't
It's
make
so boring.
that doesn't mean
it's so boring. I've wasted years of my life on it.
That doesn't mean I'm acting out of malice here.
No, but it's if you knew anything about.
Why is it anyone else's fault that you made part of your identity being someone who talks about this? That's not anyone else's fault. Why did you waste years of your life on it? That's a you problem.
About me, you know how sick I was of talking about it.
Look,
I couldn't even be bothered to read properly what I'd written about it. You claim to have read it. I have to take it as truth when you say
I only wish you'd have
if you
told me
say
before the
you read
interview.
it, you weren't paying attention. You didn't understand it.
I only wish you'd have mentioned this before the interview when I asked if we could talk about drugs.
Well, I talk about drugs to people, and I didn't say I would come across London for an interview entirely about drugs.
It wasn't supposed to be. It just, look, I have other topics that we were about to move on to.
But we weren't.
I mean that genuinely.
You barely had gone on bloody Portugal.
I can prove it.
But you didn't get there, did you?
Because
you chose.
He didn't get there because you got up and said, "I'm leaving."
And then you finished with that. So what are you offering me?
What the fuck do you mean? What are you offering? What?
I'm offering you is firstly an explanation as to.
I don't want an explanation.
Secondly, what I'm offering you is, for example, if you want me to prove to you that I'm not interested in tricking you into a conversation about drugs, if you wanted to sit down and talk about the other subject, for instance, God, that was the next one on our list, and we talked about that instead, just to prove to you that I'm not interested in just talking about drugs to you. That's not what I'm trying to do here. And I mean that.
But what happens to this drivel that we've wasted?
Well, look, like people know that I'm talking to you. They'll want to see a conversation with you, and they'll expect me to have talked to you about drugs. I can explain to them that we did and that you didn't.
I can talk about it, but I can't talk about it for an hour with you.
What the fuck? What is this guy's problem?
Round and round in circles, not listening to my answers.
Look, I'm. You seem the reason that you seem angry at me.
I feel like the next 30 years is just gonna be millennials and Zoomers coping with the temper tantrums of boomers until all of them are gone. Like, I'm not even kidding. This is just what it's like to be a millennial. Just old, out of touch, ignorant people having temper tantrums and taking it out on everyone else and not having good emotional regulation or understanding, and us having to be like, all right, okay, how do we fix this, buddy? Smith Black with $5 says, Peter could easily have said, hey, I think we've discussed drugs for too long. Can we move on now? See, but that would be a mature adult thing to do. Can't have that.
I don't like you.
Okay.
That's the reason. I really don't like you.
That's fine.
I really have decided in the past hour that I really do not like you at all.
That's fine.
I had no opinions on you before. Now I actively dislike you.
That seemed to be based on
the fact that you're a propagandist for drug legalization. Yes.
That I'm somehow tricking you into.
No, you're a propagandist for drug legalization, and I regard such persons. I will sometimes. And occasions I will be in the same room with them because it's necessary for debate, but I do not choose their company.
I'm genuinely.
I won't tell you the other occupations with which I can equate them, with whom I also don't wish to spend time, but I don't like you.
Look, this isn't.
I don't like you. Gnome Pickles with $5 says, here's an out where we can just move on. Oh no, you want to keep acting the injured party. Cool.
About drugs publicly twice.
Yeah, twice. I don't care what you've done publicly. On this occasion, you've made it clear to me that you are a very strong opponent of drug legalization, and that has been the purpose of your interview.
My job as an interviewer is to challenge my guests regardless of.
I don't care. I don't mind being challenged.
If I were talking.
That was the most honest thing he said. I don't like being challenged. Then why are you writing books in the public? Why are you being a pundit? Why are you actively going out and expressing your feelings on things? You can't do that and then be like, I get mad when people disagree with me. You're offering your opinion publicly. You're offering your opinion quite publicly, intentionally, to get people to listen to you. And you are self-admittedly saying, but I won't take any criticism or people disagreeing with me. Then shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?
If I were talking to a
Oh, did he say I don't mind being challenged? Thank fuck. Let me listen again.
Drug legalization, and that has been the purpose of your interview.
my job as an interviewer is to challenge my guests regardless of
I don't care. I don't mind being challenged.
Okay. Okay, thank fuck. I misheard that. That's on me.
If I were talking if I had David Nutt on the podcast, who I was supposed to for a long time, my questions would have been in the exact opposite direction.
So you say.
I would have put his points to you. You can see it on
So
any
you
of my
say.
previous interviews.
What did you say?
Any of my previous
I don't care.
And that's why I reject that this is a false.
I think you're in favour of drug legalisation.
Yes, well, I am. Yes.
Are you not?
Yeah, well, I am, and I told
are
you that.
exactly.
I told
I
you
think
that.
that's what you're in favour of. So I then have to ask myself why.
That's different from being a propagandist.
No, it's not.
What? So you're on two sides of an issue. You advocating for your side isn't propaganda, but the other person taking just literally the opposite position on the same issue with you, they're a propagandist. Do you see why that doesn't make any goddamn sense? Do you see what a hypocrite he is?
In favour of something's not different from being a
Well, it
propagandist.
depends on what you do with what you do as a result, doesn't it?
Asking questions.
Asking questions and then not
and,
listening, not
and giving
listening
a
to the
platform
answers.
to one of the most well-known.
Obsessively and not listening to the answers. Not doing your homework before the interview.
The whole purpose of having you here is to counteract that kind of propagandic element of only just talking about drug legalization and having instead one of the most well-known.
I don't want to be the meat in your sandwich.
Look, the reason why what I'm trying to say here is you're saying that I have no moral right to run this because you think that I've invited you under false pretenses. I just don't think that's the case. I just don't think that's the case.
But then I'm not sure you believe in morality, so that wouldn't.
And so I think I do have to run this interview.
You'd have to.
I'm sorry to say, I feel on principle that
principle?
In the way that you feel I've mistreated you by somehow tricking you, even though I've done no such thing. I feel like you're now mistreating me.
You tricked me. You asked me for an interview on a number of subjects, and it turned
including drugs
into an hour-long interview about drug legalization.
That I told you we'd talk about drugs.
Well, yes, but this is one of many subjects.
And the interview hadn't concluded.
Well, it has now.
Oh, sure, but we were going to move on. Like, of course we haven't talked about other subjects.
How much time was left in an hour for the other things you were to discuss?
Well, do you remember before we started, and I have it on camera, in fact, that I said, this goes for an hour, but if the conversation flows, if the conversation goes on, it might go on for an hour and a half, or 2 hours.
It absolutely didn't.
And you said that was fine. And so the plan was...
Absolutely didn't flow.
The plan was an hour...
didn't flow.
The plan was an hour on drugs.
Yeah, it didn't even last an hour. From the time that they actually sat down, let's see... Lasted 39 minutes before he got up and gave up.
I've never...
So a little over half of the hour?
I've seldom in life had a conversation that's been more of an endurance test. It did not flow. It was constantly halting. While I lost my temper with you at one point over your repeated. What about alcohol questions?
The plan was an hour.
Flowing.
The plan was an hour on drugs and then an hour on God. That was the idea, and we just didn't make it that far because you're now leaving.
Okay. I mean, honestly, as I say, I have no power over you at all. I can't stop you running it. I think it would be completely wrong for you to run it, but if you, no, I can't stop you. I think you behave appallingly. I never ever want to see you again.
Well, we'll have to see what everyone else thinks about that. Well, we'll see what everyone else thinks about that.
Sure.
We'll see.
I'm sure all your druggy friends will think it's great. But
Your druggy friends.
I think even your followers have struggled to think that I've mistreated you here. I really think that. I don't have much in the way of followers in the sense that you mean, but I don't care. I just think you behave really badly, and I don't see why I should put up with it. Well, it seemed a moment ago when you said that if I run this, you'll be tweeting about.
Oh, well. Absolutely. I'll tell people I think you behave atrociously. I saw that you were all nice as pie, saying please come for this interview, please come for this interview. I changed my plans accordingly, and I offered you times, and then they wouldn't work, and then we finally got to do it, and it turned out to be an hour about drugs in which you didn't listen to any of my answers to your question.
As if you think these people are going to agree with you. I don't think they will. I'm sorry to say.
No, people don't agree with you about drugs.
No, not about drugs. About the fact that I've mistreated you somehow here.
Well,
the way you say are you going to tweet about this?
I know that you have.
Well, I suppose that will be all then. Well,
I don't want to see you again.
Okay,
I'm astonished at your behaviour. I'm genuinely astonished.
I wish you the best, and I wish you the best.
Well, I can't do that because the only thing that put me on even keel with you against you is if you apologise for what you've done.
I can't apologise for something that I don't think I've done. I don't think anybody can do that. It would be an ingenuine apology.
What?
It would be an ingenuine apology.
Exactly, so it would be anyway.
So I don't think I can apologise, and I think I have to run this interview. And
I just think you've behaved extremely
I'm
well.
sorry to say that I think that you are completely mistaken about me.
Well, you are.
And I'm sorry it's gone this way. It's a shame, but I don't think there's anything I can say here to change your mind on that front.
No, I think there is. Because you would be over here for an hour's conversation after all. What was in it for me?
Luring is...
What was in it for me? Why did I come?
For an interview! You're a public figure who writes books and stuff. What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes...
You offered me an interesting conversation.
People come for all kinds of reasons.
You bore me about your desires anyway.
Well, you have a good day.
The look to camera. That was wonderful. Oof.
All right, well, do you remember that crime-fighting dog named McGruff who was frequently featured in public service announcements that were targeted at children? Well, maybe this will jog your memory.
See that girl? That's Jenny. And that's Jenny's new neighbor. If she gets in that car, she could be exposed to drugs, crimes, or even worse, minorities. See this community? Every year, undesirables move in and...
What the fuck? I get that it's supposed to be, I assume, parodying, but I'm uncomfortable with that even as a parody. Jesus Christ.
Murder in the Bible.
Oh god, the Charlie Kirk thing.
What was the first murder in the Bible?
Cain and Abel, because one of them was a farmer and one of them was a rancher, or a shepherd, I guess. Whatever you want to call it. So one grew plants, vegetables, one gave meat as sacrifice, and God only wants meat, I guess. He's on the carnivore diet like Jordan Peterson. So the other brother got upset and murdered the brother that was favored by God for giving him meat. It's basically a stupid story about A, jealousy, and B, God wants meat.
Socialism. The first murder in the Bible was socialism. How often do you have a pastor tell you that?
Ah, yes, the story of Marx and Abel.
2 sacrifices. God likes one of them, doesn't love one of them. Resentment. Murder.
Do you think capitalism is when God loves you? God decides who he loves and doesn't based on their tax bracket.
All throughout the scriptures, you see envy. I want somebody else's stuff. I don't have it as good.
That's not what socialism is, you dweeb.
Drive you to very evil and dark places. So if you think
Socialism isn't when you steal something that's someone else's. You're thinking of capitalists who steal the excess profit of the labor from their workers in order to enrich themselves and their shareholders. How about a sob-sit thing?
If you're trying to cause an issue, I can just ask you politely to walk out of the gate.
Well, this is my I'm not leaving my property until I get...
Oh. Thanks, Demos. Gnome Pickles with a super chat says, God only wishes for the flesh of your creatures and the blood of your livestock. Look, God is dating a goth girl now, so it's gonna be weird for a bit.
Cannot say anything about the law when you don't want to follow the law.
Welcome back to the Van Balian channel, guys. Today we head back to California for more Thomas Humphrey shenanigans, this time at Vic's Towing, the business that towed and who now legally own the vehicle he once lived in after it was cleared for lien sale at the end of September. Thomas responded to that news by misusing 911 to report it stolen to various law enforcement agencies.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't call the cops on the cops. They don't like that.
Who all politely told him to go away. And then a few days later, he arrived at a pre-arranged time at Vic's Towing to collect the rest of his belongings from the vehicle. But instead of doing only that...
What's the Wendigoon video? It's about the Anthill Kids cult.
He did this. Enjoy.
Yeah, so anyway, his car was impounded because he's a sovereign citizen that doesn't do driver's licenses, registration, insurance. He's living in his car, or was before it was taken, unfortunately. I'm very sorry for the situation he's in. But on top of that, again, he wasn't doing his insurance and license and plate, which you really need to keep up on, especially if you're unfortunately living in your vehicle. So now he has broken into, I guess, rather, he was allowed back into his vehicle to collect his belongings, but he is now refusing to leave because he wants to take his vehicle back that he no longer legally owns.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah,
Palmy County was a transfer. This gentleman's at Vic's Towing, said he found a stolen vehicle. He's sitting in it, and he wants us there to release it. Go ahead, please, sir.
Yep. So,
North Police Department.
hi, this is Thomas Humphrey calling. I located my stolen vehicle, and I'm sitting in it right now, and I need the sheriff's department to come out here to validate ownership, and I need them to come out to release, because they're holding my vehicle illegally. So I have proof of ownership, and you know they're holding it illegally. So I'm not leaving my van until I get a sheriff to come out here.
What's your name, sir?
Thomas Humphrey.
Yes, he's squatting in his own car. Kind of.
Okay. Do you know what your license plate number is?
It's not registered. I don't register my property to the government.
Okay. All right, Thomas, are you inside the gated area?
Yeah, I'm inside my van right now. The gate's open, and my van is partially, the nose is outside of the gated area. But I'm not leaving my van until you...
Did I miss the part where he said to her explicitly that he doesn't have a license? I don't remember. Sorry, I was reading a YouTube thing.
Guys, come up here and get them to...
Nice to see you too. Thanks.
Release my vehicle to me.
Tourism.
Do you know, for a man who claims to have cancelled all...
Why do they want the sheriff? It comes from the Posse Comitatus movement, which believes that the local sheriff is the highest-ranking law official in any given jurisdiction. This is not true. This is just a thing that they picked up like all the other conspiratorial stuff. They often think that the sheriff is the one that secretly knows all the real laws, and if they can get the sheriff on their side, then they win. None of that's true, of course.
Contracts with the government, you sure do ask them for assistance a lot more than I...
Yeah, if that's true, I'm gonna skip the Anthill Kids thing for stream too. I might watch it in my own time, but I don't want to get something that intense on stream.
would, and I pay taxes.
Like the stream.
I'm not gonna...
All right, Thomas.
Yeah, well, I'm not...
Yes, I should point out that the Posse Comitatus movement was based on white supremacism in the 70s. The idea was that a local sheriff could deputize some good old boys, and they could do basically whatever they wanted and terrorize their own communities, in particular minorities that they don't like. It's fucked up, and when that group kind of broke apart, a lot of it spread out to different groups, including the current sovereign citizen movement.
I'm not gonna take my van from here, because you know I'm not gonna do anything that you guys consider to be criminal. I'm not leaving my property.
I think you already are. You're trespassing at this point. Again, I really do feel for the guy. Like, he's obviously in a desperate situation. He was already living in his car. Like, he's he's in a situation that anyone would find untenable, but he's really not helping his case here. Just a matter of practicality. This is not helping.
Yep.
We'll be out there in just a little bit, okay? Can you guys hang tight for a minute?
Yep, no worries. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Thomas. Bye.
I don't know what else to do, man. You know, I mean, look,
you could have gotten a license and registration so this didn't happen in the first place.
I'm a peaceful inhabitant, dude. I don't wish no harm upon no one. I just want my property back, man.
It's not your property anymore legally.
That's all, you know?
I'm a peaceful inhabitant. Yeah, right. Says the guy who tricked his way onto private property, refuses to leave a vehicle that is not legally his anymore, and when the owner asks him to peacefully and politely leave the property, he refuses. That doesn't sound very peaceful to me.
You guys have... Yeah, no, the van is my property. Yep, right. Right. Yep, unlawfully though. Well, this is my I'm not leaving my property until I get. Yeah, I know. I understand. You can ask me. You can ask me. Yep. Right, well, I'm gonna wait for officers.
I just feel like if you're already in a situation where you're like if you're already in a situation like this, getting yourself more in trouble with the law by doing something like this is the last thing you want to do. Like, getting the police involved in your situation now is not helping you. They're not on your side here, and I don't understand how you can't see that. No matter how morally right you might feel, obviously what you're doing is not going to fly legally, and you must see that.
To come so that I have proof of ownership right here, and I just need them to validate ownership, because
how are they going to validate ownership if you don't have an up-to-date license or registration? That's literally what these things are for. And it's so funny when I hear sovereign citizens be like, what do I need a registration for? Situations like this, if you actually did need to identify that you owned the vehicle.
I have not seen anything from you guys stating that you own my vehicle, which I was told you.
Oh, I understand, Red Jester. It would be one thing if it was just an expense thing. I understand. When people are impoverished, they can't afford to buy basic things, even stuff like that. But this isn't a case where he doesn't want to do it because he can't afford it. This is a situation where he is saying that he believes he legally does not have to have a license or insurance or registration, license plate. He thinks he doesn't need these things and that it is an imposition on him to even ask. Like, even if he lived and had a house, he wouldn't register his car because he thinks he shouldn't have to. That's like what sovereign citizens do.
You guys do, so I'm gonna need you guys to present that, or, you know, whatever in comparison. Yeah. Well, I'm not leaving my property until the police come. Yeah. I'm not leaving my van. This is my property. So I'm not leaving my van until the police come and validate ownership, because
Please leave
no.
the gated area.
I'm waiting on law enforcement. Yep.
Yes, he does not want to
Because
leave
you're
his
attacking
vehicle.
him.
I'm attacking him?
Who's this? Is this like his friend or wife or something? Who's this?
Well, okay.
I never said
Oh, maybe it's the owner just telling him just wait for the cops.
that, but I'm just, you guys won't let me leave with my property. Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, he does not want to...
I just want my van back, guys. That's all.
There's more of them? Oh yeah, sovereign citizens are all over the place. I literally do a show called Sovereign Citizen Watch, where we just for 3 hours cover sovereign citizens. Weekly. There's a lot of them. It's a whole movement. It's a online cult thingy.
Oh, I just... Right, yeah, I know, I understand. From what I've been informed by one of your constituents is that you guys have taken legal possession through a lien sale.
Lien sale cleared. That makes it so that we now legally own it.
You guys legally, you unlawfully seized possession of my property.
Again, you're not even making a moral argument. Like, if you wanted to be like, please, I am... Again, I no one should have to, like, beg for basic needs. But I would understand if he was approaching the situation like, hey, I know you have legal control over my vehicle. Could you please hold on to it? I will buy it back from you or figure something out. Like, please, just hold it for... Because, like, they legally can do what they want. Regardless of the morality or how you feel about it or how much it fucks you over, legally, they own the vehicle. So it's up to them. Like, you don't have a legal standing here, and you must know that. Like, I don't want this guy to suffer. I don't want this guy to not have a place to stay. But while we're in this shitty system, you need to work within it, not just pretend you're in a different system. That's just gonna harm you.
They had it towed. We didn't unlawfully do anything.
Right, well, so...
Law enforcement had us come pick this up.
Yeah.
It's on them.
Yeah, right, well, it was...
You cannot say anything about the law when you don't want to follow the law.
Well said. I could not... Yeah, all guy is.
Well, no, man. I'm just exercising my right to privacy is all. I don't have to contract with the government. They're trying to force me.
Okay, but here's the thing. This is so wild. You don't want to contract with the government in terms of recognizing the laws that require you to have a license, insurance, registration, all of these things in order to operate your vehicle on public roadways, but you want to rely on the services of the government like the police to protect the rights that you believe you have. So you want all of the rights that people have within society, but you want none of the responsibility. That is just selfishness. You're just a cunt. Like, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sure this guy's in a shit situation. But, like, what is this? You're acting like you can strong-arm them when you have nothing. You do not have the upper hand here. You even said that they're doing something unlawfully. No! That's what you're doing!
Yeah, so, but what I'm saying is...
This is a conversation for you to have with someone else. At this moment...
This is...
Hold on, is the source in here? Yeah. That way I don't have to just skip over the Van Balen bits. Hold up. Ah! That's not what I wanted.
Please, leave the gated area.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Well, this is I live in here, so you know I feel he's possession of my property.
You can take that up with law enforcement. They had it towed. We didn't unlawfully do anything.
Right. Well, so
law enforcement had us come pick this up.
Yeah.
It's on them.
Yeah. Right. Well, it was.
Lawfulness, you cannot say anything about the law when you don't want to follow the law.
Well, I am following the law.
But you want me to follow them for you.
Well, no, man. I'm just exercising my right to privacy is all. I don't have to contract with the government.
That doesn't mean anything. Your right to privacy does not allow you to break the law.
They're trying to...
If you don't want to have a license with the government, don't drive a car. And if you say, well, I need to drive a car, all right, you need a license. Legally. That is how the law works. Stop using the word lawfully and legally when you don't know what they mean.
Force me. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is...
This is a conversation for you to have with someone else. At this moment...
This is... I'm
very gracious, and he let you come back to get the rest of your stuff out of the
Amen.
vehicle.
And I'm truly grateful.
You do not have to do
Yeah, and I'm grateful. I'm desperate.
Literally holding this man up from doing his job, which is helping people broke down on the side of the road.
Well, this is I live in here. So, you know, I feel like...
Again, if you would like to do the sympathy thing, fair. Because that has nothing to do with the legality of the situation. It would be trying to appeal to their sympathy. Sure. And it would be a more honest realization of what's going on here. It would show that you understand legally you don't have rights here, but you want to ask for help in some way. Whether it's, I don't know, having him hold it for a while to see if he can figure something out with some family or something, to see if he can get the car back, or letting you know when the auction is so maybe you can bid on it. I don't know. And I know that's not even necessarily a tenable situation. He's already living in his car, so presumably he doesn't have money to buy it back. I understand that. I just... Anything other than what he's doing right now would be an improvement on an attempt to salvage this.
Follow the law and register the vehicle.
I feel like I'm home right now, and I don't want to leave my home. You know, I'm desperate too. This is like my last desperate attempt to try to get my property back, you know? So, I mean, I'm under duress, and I don't know what else to do. Not until the police get here. I'm trying to... Yeah. I've already called the police. I'm in my property right now.
No, you're not! They own it!
So, I mean,
Property is a legal concept. Property has a specific meaning. Property means that you have the right to possess something in real terms, meaning it is yours to own, sell, alter, dispose of, make use of. It's yours. You do not have legal rights to this property. It has been signed over to these people because their company is contracted by the police to take vehicles that have been impounded by them.
Now, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just sitting here. I'm recording this whole thing, and right, I need to live in this is my property. Exactly.
Like, it's like he's recognizing, like, wow, I am in need of help, so society should help me, but he doesn't understand that, unfortunately, that's not the system we have, or at least it doesn't work like this. Like, if he wants help, you can't come here and just try and claim legal rights you don't have. In our system, you need to seek out help from either organizations that provide help to people without housing, any government programs that you might be able to be enrolled within, although that's a pain in the ass in and of itself. It's just like, it's fair to recognize that our system and the law makes life really, really hard if you're impoverished. But you can't just pretend it doesn't exist because of that. It's true that the system needs changing and we need more social safety nets, but you can't just not follow the law and expect it to go well.
Sir, so you know what I'm saying? You see how exactly, man, that's all I'm saying, dude. So, yep. And you're doing it by assisting me right now.
Okay, but you're not wanting to get out of the van, which is on private property, and it was impounded by the police agencies.
Yep. I mean, look, after I leave, you know I'm going to leave here today because the police are going to make me leave.
So you know.
You guys will, huh? Yeah, I have a scheduled time to be in Missouri as well. So we're actually gathering together to serve God, and so
That's a personal problem. Your lack of transportation does not become the problem of this place because your car was impounded.
I have appointed time to be in Missouri on the 29th. So you guys are highly hindering.
I've heard that God is everywhere, so you can worship him right here if you'd like.
Me from serving my...
You don't need to go to Missouri. Also, if I was God, I think the only place I wouldn't be is Missouri, so.
God as well. You know, it's appointed holy feast day, You know, so I'm just saying this whole situation is, yeah, I know, I'm just saying the whole situation is, and I'm desperate because you guys can literally sell my vehicle at any time, at any moment.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
All right, I understand you called.
Yep.
What's going on?
So, this is my private property.
Okay.
I've never registered it to the government, so it gives...
That admission isn't helping your case.
You guys or VIX Towing no jurisdiction over it. It's private property. Okay. And the Fourth Amendment protects my right to privacy, and we shall not be deprived of our life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
Right, and your car was impounded.
Okay. So in them taking my property, I'm desperate too, man. I'm under duress right now, and I feel like I'm back home. Look at my mattress. I live in here. Okay, everything I own is in here. I travel, and I've been living in here for 3 years. Okay, so I don't know what else to do. I've tried to, you know, get them to release my vehicle. I talked to CHP. They won't take a complaint of you know what I'm saying, because they consider this to be lawful. But where's my due process? You know, you understand due process? I do. Yeah, that means I have a right to be heard before you guys can deprive me of my property. I have a right to a hearing. I have a right to present evidence. I have a right to cross-examine witnesses. I have a right to appeal a decision before I can be deprived of my property. That is basic understanding of law. Where is justice? Are you a law enforcement officer? Where is the law?
My understanding of the context, by the way, was that the actual case was dropped, but the judge said, like, you have to get your vehicle back from the impound. Like, it's still impounded. You need to get your vehicle back and have it registered, and then you can have it back. And he refused to do that because he's a sovereign citizen and doesn't want to get a driver's license or his car registered. So he's doing this instead. And the car got, you know, taken because he didn't pay to have it registered and stuff.
In this, I have due process rights. I demand due process right now. Where's my due process before you guys can take my property from me? And they've already filed a lien sale, and they said they can legally sell my
yes, Amber, I'd love that.
My property whenever they want to. That is a violation of. I'm sorry. That is a
You can post it in the live stream chat on the Discord. You can't post links in YouTube chat.
Violation of due process.
Okay. So how did your vehicle get here in the first place?
I was pulled over by the California Highway Patrol.
Okay. How long ago was that?
August 8th.
August 8th?
Yeah.
Okay. What did they pull you over for?
Because I have We the People license plates. God. It's a constitutional license plate with the...
That doesn't mean anything.
The Constitution says We the People with an American flag on it, which you guys taken an oath to protect and defend.
Okay.
So, you know, that's why he pulled me over, because he said I didn't have proper license plates on there.
Okay. So basically, long story short, is it got towed for not being registered.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then you said you've already contacted CHP,
and they refused to take my complaint.
Thank you for the link. Let's take a break from this real quick and look at this.
Where they got?
Let's see.
AP's got a piece this morning on...
Let's see, only 9% of Americans support the car companies in their contract standoff with auto workers. 60% say better pay for auto workers would be a good thing. Yeah. Wow, it's almost like labor being in solidarity is a good thing and normal.
Public approval of either the automakers or the unions. You want to know percentage that favor the automakers?
Oh my!
It's like 6%, 9%, something below 10.
I was shocked at that. I thought that perhaps there would be people who say, you know what? I have a F-150. I love it, and they do a great job, and the workers are being greedy. And no, the workers win.
It kind of brings.
Jim Cramer sounds like the biggest fucking asshole in the universe. And it's funny, too, because whenever I cover the meme stock stuff, I've had people be like, oh, do you listen to Jim Cramer? No, Jim Cramer's a douchebag. I can think Jim Cramer's an asshole and an idiot, and also know that meme stocks are bullshit. Those aren't mutually exclusive.
I called the sheriff's department because obviously there's a conflict of interest in filing a complaint with the responsible party. So they refused to come out, and they sent the California Highway Patrol.
So we can't take a complaint for another agency, right? So I can take a complaint for my agency as a supervisor for the sheriff's office comes out, takes a complaint for them. A supervisor will come out for CHP and take a complaint for the California Highway Patrol.
Right, but what happens when someone violates their bounds of authority? They've stepped outside of their bounds. They no longer have immunity from the law. That means I can hold them liable in their personal capacity.
Right, and then that's when it comes into the civil proceedings, right? The civil court hearings.
Right.
And so that's kind of the avenue that we're in right now.
Right, so
you're disagreeing with your car getting towed.
Exactly. So the civil proceedings, why is my vehicle in lawful possession of them and they can sell it now?
So,
we haven't even gone through any.
Yeah, I assume he has like SobSit paperwork. They buy paperwork from scam websites a lot of the time. Or he wrote up a document that says like, I hereby state that I own this vehicle, and had it notarized, because sometimes they think notaries are magic and don't understand what the actual role of a notary is.
Anything yet?
Oh, I feel sorry for this guy too. He has no idea what's going on.
We haven't gone through the process of due process in order for them to lawfully take possession of my vehicle.
So I'm not going to speak to the tow company because I'm not well versed in once a vehicle gets towed by us and then it becomes, a vehicle that is stored because it was not legally driven on the road. And then once that goes into the lien sale process, I don't know those ins and outs. So I don't want to speak to that and give you wrong information.
$10 super chat. Rick says, SobSit, endlessly frustrating and entertaining. Agreed.
Right. So, but you see what I'm saying though? Where is the connection? That's a major disconnect. If California Highway Patrol is responsible for towing it and putting it in impound and putting a hold on it, they should not be able to move forward until due process is lawful. I have not been heard in court at all. I have not been able to present evidence or anything. And I was told by them that they could sell my vehicle at any time, at any moment. So that is why I'm inside my home right now. And I'm not leaving until a law enforcement officer verify I have evidence. This is what I need to present to you. That is legal ownership. That is my bill of sale from the dealership. I am the lawful owner of this vehicle, and they're saying that they own it now.
Let me give you this information. So
looks like that's maybe the sales receipt from when he bought the car.
I have no authority to release this vehicle because I am not the agency and the authority that towed the vehicle.
Okay.
So the only person or the only people that can allow this vehicle to be released from here would be the California Highway Patrol.
Okay,
I have no authority to say I'm going to release your vehicle to you and let you drive away.
I understand. So my hands are tied. Can you please have the sheriff's department come out here? Because
I can ask the California Highway Patrol.
No, I
the
need the
sheriff's office is not going to come out. They're going to advise you that this is a civil matter between the tow company and yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the only person, like I said, the only person that can give any sort of authority to release this vehicle would be the California Highway Patrol. I don't have that authority, and the sheriff's office doesn't have that authority. Only the originating agency.
Right, but do you see the conflict of interest? Like if I was a criminal and I had an organization.
They're also a state agency.
Yeah, right.
They have an oversight committee.
Yeah, right.
So
But
any complaint that's going to be reviewed by an oversight committee to see if this is founded or unfounded. There's a whole process. We have to report to the state. Everything is out in the open, right? So SB2 came out and it made it to where if there's complaints that has to be of certain nature, those are reported to Sacramento, to Post, which is our certifying agency. And then they can look into that and say, hey, this investigation was done properly or this investigation wasn't done properly. So there is oversight.
Right. So my biggest thing right now is I don't want my property to be sold. They can literally sell it.
It's not your What don't you understand about the legality of the situation, regardless of how you feel and how shitty this is for you?
At any time.
This just feels like talking to one of the Bed Bath & Beyond cult people. Like, it's the same thing. Like, no matter how many times you explain, they're still stuck on that fundamental misunderstanding where he thinks this is still his property, or that they think the stock still exists, you know?
So is there, because I've already talked to the California Highway Patrol, and they said they have nothing to do with the lien sale as well. But that's inaccurate because they're the ones holding it. And I object everything that's going on right now. So I'm in my property. Listen, I'm under duress too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to do. I'm in my home right now. That's why I called you. And I don't want them to sell it. I don't want my property to be sold. Right. You know? So what am I supposed to do?
I don't have the answer for you when it comes down to that, unfortunately.
Can you find
in criminal law
yeah.
and civil law, right? So as a peace officer, my job is come out and enforce criminal law. Right. I am not well versed in civil law, and I don't enforce civil law.
You're a sergeant too?
I'm a corporal.
Corporal, can you please have someone come out here that can put an estoppel on them moving forward from selling my property? Because
I can contact the CHP. That's the only.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do that then. Have them come out.
I'm code 4. He's requesting a 61 SAM unit response.
Want them to sell my property.
Right.
You know.
So in the meantime, I'm working with you. Can you work with me? Can we get out of the vehicle?
No, I'm not leaving my property until they verify that they're not going to sell it. This is the deal. Okay? This is my property. I own it. This is my property.
I understand that.
Yep.
But at the same time, we're now on their property.
Right. My property is unlawfully seized on their property.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're going to take your car or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm called out here because you're on their private property and you're in a vehicle.
In my private property.
And you're refusing to leave their property.
Give me my keys and I will leave.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So, but I'm just look.
Imagine if that had worked. Wow. Okay.
I'm just trying to.
I'm trying to work with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And so my request right now, so that way I don't have to give you an order.
Yeah.
To get out of the vehicle and step off of their property, I'm asking, can we get out of the car and go stand by my patrol car and wait for the CHP sergeant to get here?
When he comes, I want to verify that they're not gonna sell my vehicle.
You don't have the power to do that.
To me. I want to verify they're not going to sell my vehicle.
Okay. So in the meantime, until that CHP sergeant gets here, let's go stand by my patrol car.
I decline that. I'm documenting this. I want to make sure that my property's not going to be sold because listen, I live in here. This is my home. If you order me out, you're actually
Yeah, there have been legal precedents. I don't remember if it's been a Supreme Court thing or if there's just various state Supreme Court decisions, but I know there's legal discourse over, is it a vehicle or a home when you're talking about someone who lives in their vehicle? RVs in particular are a point of contention because an RV is basically a house on wheels. Legally, in terms of what you need to search the place, are we using the vehicle standard or the home standard? So there is, like, an actual conversation legally there, but either way, he lost this, so...
Making me...
Oh, it's incredibly depressing, yeah. I agree we should give people homes. I wish that this guy could be told, hey, sure, you don't have your car, and that sucks, and that's not good, but let's take you to some public housing where you can have a place to stay and have a mailbox and stuff, where you can clean up and have a roof over your head at night so you can get back on your feet, you know?
Do something against my will, so... You know, obviously I'm not gonna fight you. I will if you.
But it would be a lawful order.
It won't be a lawful order because I'm in my property.
You're on somebody else's property against their will, and they've advised you that they want you to leave. They've contacted law enforcement. Now I'm out here to tell you the same thing. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't want to go down that road, and I want you to talk to CHP, and I want you to get this figured out to the best of our ability. But we have to meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my request that we go. I'm not saying we need to get down on the highway. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying let's let these guys close their gates and get back to work so they can do what they need to do. Okay?
Yeah.
I think you and I can both agree that the misunderstanding right now and this whole issue, at the end of the day, is it really down on the tow company?
No, but what I'm saying is I want to prevent them from selling it. So
we understand what you want.
Right, but that got you guys out here, and look at, like I said, I know, but I'm in my home, and check it out. Once I leave and you order me to get out of my property, I very well may never see it again. I may never be able to sit in my seat again. So you see what I'm saying? So, and
the OJ thing, you're thinking about the second time he got into trouble? That isn't relevant to the OJ trial. When you say OJ trial, people are thinking of the murder trial. He went on a separate trial for stealing back, supposedly stealing back some, like, sports memorabilia that had been taken from him or something. I don't know that much about it.
I don't even see. I just seen something else that I forgot. Those seashells, those actually have some spiritual meaning because, you know. So, but I see, and I very well could have forgot something else in here. So,
okay, well, that's your responsibility to look and make sure you got all your stuff. Again, I sound so shitty when I say this because our system fucking sucks. I'm not saying I like this. I am saying that is how it works.
Just saying, man, I'm under duress right now, and I don't know what else to do. So,
but is making these guys have to lose out on shows and other things?
I'm living in a tent right now. Okay, my concern is not whether they can go steal somebody else's car. I'm living in a tent because they took my property.
But they only steal cars? Are there people that legitimately have AAA services that their cars break down?
True, yeah,
Kids get locked in cars because their keys were stolen
Yeah,
there?
that's true. But my situation is valid, just as valid, you know.
I understand your frustrations 100%.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer for you though.
Dude, it's unjust. It's unjust, man. You know, I
This is the thing with systemic issues. They need to be tackled at the systemic level. You can't individually talk your way out of the law. If you have a problem with how the law works and a lack of support for people, then that's a systemic problem that needs systemic solutions.
I don't even know what else to do. So, you know, is this CHP here?
No.
Oh, it's Captain? It's Captain?
That's my supervisor, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Lil. And
I'm just documenting this, guys, because, you know, I'm not gonna bow. I'm not gonna do what you guys tell me to do because look, in registering it, because I have a right to privacy. I don't have to register my property to the government, and I've already.
If you want to drive it on public roads, you do.
Presented all of your agencies with my standing.
Hi, honey.
Right.
Come on.
So now that you guys have been put on notice, it's plain as.
Oops, shit! I didn't mean to do that.
Thank you. Day. I mean, a child can.
I think she wants me to go downstairs.
Understand it.
She does that if I'm like in the kitchen or anywhere else in the house, because she likes to sit on the couch and like cuddle or have me brush her or whatever. She'll literally just walk up to me and like meow and try and it's like she thinks I'm lost. Like she thinks well, of course, you know, Mom must want to be on the couch with me right now all the time because nothing else happens. So she here can follow me. She's cute.
Canceled my contracts, and now that you guys are.
Oh, honey, you came back. I know. I'm almost done, baby. When we're done with this video, I'll come downstairs.
Aware of.
I'm so confused. Like, our cats must think I'm nuts. As far as they're concerned, like 3 hours a day, I come in this room and sit in front of a light box and talk loudly. They must think I'm just bananas.
My standing, you guys are literally, all of you guys are conspiring together to deprive me of my life, liberty, and private property. Because I've already made it clear my standing, and it's plain as day. And now you guys are acting with willful intent to break.
Maybe next time, David. Maybe next time.
The law. Willful disregard of my constitutionally protected rights as well. You know, because if you've done something in ignorance, that's what a legal notice is for, is to let you know, hey, look, you know, you guys are in violation. I'm just letting you know, please correct your actions.
Oh, honey.
And then once you are put on notice.
You are behind the computer stuff. That's probably not good.
And you are aware of what you're doing. If you continue with your conduct, you are acting with either reckless disregard or intentional negligence. And those are criminal offenses.
Hold on, let me grab her. I think she's stuck because she can't turn around. Oh, no, she got up. She's good. Honey, come here. Come on.
And you guys are criminal law enforcement. You understand criminal negligence, right? Exactly. Operating with intentional disregard of someone else's safety or rights. So, I mean, where's the law in that? Where's the justice in this? You know? Undeniable. But you know, I just don't know what else to do, man. So
what can we do today?
I just want to make sure that they can't sell my property, because I don't have anything else. Literally, this was donated to me. I'm a traveling minister. I have 70,000 followers on social media, and I preach.
Oh, you could ask them for help. Like, unironically, you could ask them for help. That's a shame.
It's the gospel, and I travel America. This was donated to me. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that you guys are just doing your job as well, but you guys are improperly trained on the law. There's a private side.
No, what you are saying is not true.
Constitutional law is public law.
To be clear, I would agree about police receiving bad training. However, no, you cannot get out of the law just because you claim you're private.
Law, which is a limit on government to protect private rights. That's why the Constitution was enacted. The Constitution doesn't grant us our rights. It is a limit on your guys' delegated bounds of authority.
Literally, the Bill of Rights tell, like, yes, I understand what you're saying in terms of it making clear the bounds of the government, but it does say the freedoms that you have, and it also says that state and local governments are free to enact laws that don't interfere with anything that the federal government says. Driver's licenses are one of those things.
Where if I am being violated, you guys are supposed to protect my rights. But those who contract, they become public agents, which are on
contract.
through the license, through registration. That's what gives you guys jurisdiction to do what you guys do, to pull people over and ticket them.
No, their jurisdiction is that they're hired by the government to be police. They don't need to get individual jurisdiction from each person in the location where they're employed. That's automatic. It's a geographical location, not an individual designation based on the person.
He wants, basically he's fighting right now the lien sale and wants to speak to CHP about having the vehicle released by their policy.
Donated, man. I have a traveling ministry.
Yeah, I hope this guy gets help too. I've seen him before though. He's like a sovereign citizen that does this stuff all the time. Like, this is far from the first time something like this has happened. So I don't think he will. He's very confident in his sovereign citizen beliefs, unfortunately.
This is everything I own. You know, so my goal is to get them to not sell my property. I don't know what else to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fight you guys if, you know, you guys have the guns and the authority to. No, you know.
But I'm just, you know, we also have these people trying to do business and they're trying to close up and.
Yeah, I know.
Are we thinking ahead, or like, okay, if CHP can't come to that resolution for me, is there another way to address it later?
Yeah, no, and so, how's it going?
Thomas, how are you?
Good. Under duress, man. I'm in my property now, and
so the state police, the state patrol, the highway patrol did show up. So that's interesting. I didn't even expect him to show up.
I don't want them to sell it. So that's
we've talked about this ad nauseum, right?
No, right. But that's what I'm attempting right now, is to get them. Look, this is donated to me. I have a traveling ministry. I don't have an income.
Like I said.
Rick with another $10 super chat says, Sob sits and cats, endlessly fascinating and entertaining. Coincidence, Hannah? No, I'm just wonderful, and this show is full of everything good in life. You should like the stream and share my streams with everyone. Everyone needs me in their life, clearly.
I live in here, and
we have gotten all your documents.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We've got them all. We've talked several times on this.
Exactly.
Right? So the way it's got to play out, right, is in order for you to get the car, like I told you today, there's certain requirements for that to happen. License and registration.
Right.
If you don't, right, and we're going to, again, for the millionth time, we are going to agree to disagree on the laws of California, right? Okay? I'm just going off what, you know, and you disagree with it, but that's the way it's we're going to agree to disagree on that.
Right.
You've either got to pay the registration and be licensed, or you're not going to get it out. Okay?
I understand. So,
do you?
Are you here to pick up your stuff like you said you're going to do?
I got my stuff, but I want to prevent the tow truck company from selling my property.
There's no version of this where that happens. Zero.
Until I have an opportunity to present, I know, but until I have an opportunity to present evidence to a judge and have my proper standing in court, that should be, you know, that's proper due process. That is what I am attempting right now.
I get it.
And look at, when I leave this van, my home, I very well may never come back. I very well may never sit in this seat again. So that's why I'm under duress, sir. Too, you know, I don't know what else to do. You guys have the
camera, right?
Whenever they say I'm under duress, I always want to say, but aren't we all? Like, yep. Welcome to society. Sorry.
That's not a mace. Okay.
No, that's a camera. Yeah. You guys have the authority. You know, I'm not gonna fight you guys. But what else can I do as a citizen? All I can do is gather evidence of the unjust treatment that I'm receiving.
You've sent us a ton of that, right? And we've received it all. Right. And so you've gathered all your evidence.
No, this is further evidence.
And that's
my last.
But what we're doing here, we're on this gentleman's business now, and you're causing an issue there. You're trespassing now. Okay.
Well, this is my property, and you understand what I'm saying?
No. Okay. This is it is technically their property right now.
Okay.
Okay. It is their property because we rightfully had them under our direction tow this car, which means it's their property, right? If you took this car right now and drove it out, we would charge you with vehicle theft.
Wow. Yeah, I understand that.
You know what I mean? So it's their property. It is their close of business. They want to get out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe he said he would give you till 5 o'clock, right, Scott? 5 today? Was it 5 today to get his property out inside? 5 today? Okay, so you're past that. So I know they want to go home. We want to go home. Right? These gentlemen want to go home. Right?
So check it out.
Okay.
Things take time, and in order, I'm filing a complaint with the Attorney General's office, right?
Yep.
So, in order for, I believe that's going to be what's going to put the estoppel on them from.
It's not. It really probably isn't.
Moving forward.
Okay.
But again, you got to see my dilemma. I don't know what else to do. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. I gotta gather everything together and put it in a presentable form to them, because I sent them an email, and they sent me back, and they said we don't accept complaints over email, and they gave me the Attorney General's office. His assistant emailed me back, and they said we don't accept complaints over email, but we are looking forward to receiving your complaint, and sent me the link to file it. But I'm in the process of working on that right now. But things take time, and I'm up against the clock to them. They literally told me they can sell it at any moment.
And that's what the laws in California allow them to do. Okay, and you might not agree with those laws.
Yep.
Right, but that's what the laws in California allow them to. They're not doing anything that is illegal. Okay, unfortunately. Like I said, I know we disagree on that.
Exactly.
As we've talked about numerous times.
Yep.
But they're not doing anything illegal.
So you are responsible in putting the hold on the vehicle. So can you put a hold on them from selling it until I get this complaint done?
I told you're responsible, okay, for getting the vehicle out by two things. Like I've told you several times. Registration and license, right? If you do not do that, right, then they're going to proceed with their procedures. That is, allowable by California state law.
Selling my property.
That is allowable by California state law. It is your choice not to comply with the licensing and registration requirements of the state. And whether you agree with it or not, okay, you're required to comply. And if you do not, these are the ramifications, unfortunately for you.
Yeah.
I didn't even see what the mods had to deal with. That must have been quick.
Right.
Absolutely. I understand, yeah.
And so and they're just doing their job based on our request, right? They towed it on our behalf, right? And now they're acting upon when someone doesn't come, and
So pretty much licensed theft.
No, that's how you want to think of it.
Yeah, it is. But
what I'm asking you to do right now, just grab your stuff, Thomas, and we're gonna get this process going. Okay.
All right.
I would appreciate it so much.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I'm just.
Right, I appreciate it.
You know,
I see. You just meant the Discord request. I thought it was someone got banned or something.
And I apologize for holding you guys up, but like, I mean, what would you do if I took you out of your home and told you you can't have it back until I do what you tell me to do?
I do what I told you to do.
You would obey me if I told you to do something you didn't want to do.
If I want to get my van back, and I'm telling, if I'm saying in order to get it back you need license and registration, I get a license and registration. But that's just me.
Right.
I can't make you do that. It's your choice.
Right.
But I would have gotten the license and registration, then he would have released it to you. Right. Me, I mean, you obviously think differently than me. Like we've had this discussion a bunch of times. We're gonna agree to disagree on everything. But like I said, I just.
Thanks for coming out, man.
You got everything you want?
Yeah, I got everything, and yeah. So
is that shopping cart outside? There's geographical limits, Thomas.
It is.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna let that one slide.
Thanks, man.
Okay?
I appreciate it, and it was dangerous coming over those impasses up there, but I couldn't find anybody to come out, so I had to improvise. But
okay, I don't want to speak for you guys, but this is gonna be the last time he's allowed in here.
No, and I appreciate that, but I'm under arrest since I live in here, man. But I thank you for letting me get. I'm under duress.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I just don't know what else to do, man. I would appreciate it if you not sell my van until I'm able to file a complaint with the Attorney General's office. Can you do that much? I'll have it in a couple days.
Sorry, I can't make any promises to that because, like I say, I mean, we could be talking years. I mean, I don't know when you're going to do that.
I'm gonna have it in a couple of days.
But it's already been more than 30 days since the car was towed.
Right, but so they've just contacted me, the Attorney General's office, and they said they're anticipating my claim.
Right, that doesn't mean. Oh my God, does he not understand? That's like general boilerplate email bullshit. Like, that doesn't mean that they think that you have any grounds. They're just saying, hey, we don't take complaints over email. We expect your whatever when you file it with whatever. Like, that doesn't mean they think you have grounds necessarily. That's generic speak for like, all right, do the thing. You're allowed to do it. Ugh.
I mean, my complaint. So I don't know where else to go from here, man. But that's my request. If you could give me a couple days to file that complaint, and they should be able to, help me from there. But.
Alright, so I think we're going to call it a day. It's been over 3 hours, so I hope everyone has a great night. Love you, Mr. Blast. I'm gonna go hang out with my wife and kitties and probably make a patty melt and ramen. Have a great night, everyone. You're all cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow on YouTube, or rather, sorry, I'll see you tomorrow on Twitch, today's YouTube. I've been posting shorts to YouTube. If you see them, do me a favor, like them. I'm trying to get more people's eyes on the channel, maybe get some new subscribers and stuff, so if you see them and you're wanting to help me out, that would be cool. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Adios.